Usuni amani hunui.
Usuni amani hunui. Yesu bepuwe amani ninara tuwejo. Usuni amani hunui.
Ampao.
Yesu bepuwe amani ninara tuwejo.
Ampa debi riboa. Ampa debi riboa. Yesu beba beboa. Ambara debi riboa. Debi Yesu bepuwe riboa. Yesu bebe bio.
Awe hauji tuwejo.
Debi riboa. Yeah, debi riboa. Ampa debi riboa. Yesu beba. Debi riba. Yeah, Yesu bebe bio beba re makofi. Weni meni daso.
Amaye hauji tuwejo.
Enena ye hunu ya. Enena ye ti ni suo. Arehona no aye dino. Enena ye hunu nyonyo. Ye besie ni pro ye mu. Aso be sorry when nyammo. Ye dinisio ne besie no. Odi sirie be sorry debi ye besie no ya. Aso be sorry when nyammo. Eyampo Yesu bepuya.
Amaye hauji tuwejo.
Enena ye hunu nyonyo. Enede ye ti ni so Arehona no aye dino enena ye hunu ya. Ye besie ni pro ye mu. Aso be sorry when nyammo. Ya dinisio ne besie no. Odi sirie be sorry debi ye besie no ya. Aso be sorry when jemo. Eyamba Yesu bepuwe amaye hauji tuwejo.
Eti munyedi munyeko mufa musanso manuda baby ribo Yesu bepuwe amaye hauji tuwejo. Eti munyedi munyeko mufa musanso manuda baby ribo Yesu bepuwe amaye hauji tuwejo.
Yesu na neseye mbo yeyini na neseye bose. Orikwa kusi yesi na bia manemma. Bisi adebi riba Yesu betemu wasoro se. Musionka sasi tamena nyina bebuwe. Sikampo anore ebesensha dofunyi na biwa. Sikampo anore ebesensha nyanumi bio. Dano yenka oswibio arewo nyina bekariye. Mama jidi Yesu bepuwa
amaye hauji tuwejo.
Yesu na neseye mo yeyini na neseye mo se. Yeko kosi yesi na biabi amani moa. Besi adebi ribo Yesu betemu wasoro se. Musionka sasi tamuna nyina bebuwe. Sikampo anore ebesensha dofu ebiwate. Sikampo anore ebetudume yeradiaye. Dano yenka usubio owonyina bekariye. Eyampa Yesu beba ampa debi riboa hauwe etu obejo. Ampa etu obejo. Yesu bo ampa roa. Mama Yesu bebo. Yesu mensu biwati. Mama jidi na
Yesu bepuwe amani ninara tuwejo. Usuni amani hunui.
Ampao.
Yesu bepuwe amani ninara tuwejo.
Ampa debi riboa. Yesu bebo. Ambara debi riboa. Debi Yesu bepuwe riboa. Yesu bebe bio.
Amaye hauji tuwejo.
Debi riboa. Yeah, debi riboa. Ampa debi riboa. Yesu beba. Debi riba. Yeah, Yesu bebe bio beba re makofi. Weni meni daso.
Amaye hauji tuwejo.
Enena ye hunu ya. Enena ye ti ni suo. Arehona no aye dino. Enena ye hunu nyonyo. Ye besie ni pro ye mu. asobe sorry when you nyamo yedinisio ne besie no odisirie be sorry de bi ye besie no ya asobe sorry when you nyamo eyampo yesu bepu amaye hauyi tuwetu enena ye hunu no ene de yeti ni so arewona no ayedi enena ye hunu ya ye besie ni proye mo asobe sorry when you nyamo yedinisio ne besie no odisirie be sorry de bi ye besie no ya asobe sorry when ni jemo eyamba yesu bepuwe amaye hauyi tuwetu
eti munyeko mufa musanso manuda baby ribo yesu bepuwe amaye hauyi tuwetu eti munyeko mufa musanso manuda baby ribo yesu bepuwe amaye hauyi tuwetu
yesu na ne sheyembo yeyini na ne she
yesu na oseyembo
yesu tina bia pabi
osiesie tina bia pabi ede amaye
edebi riba yesu bet
edebi ba
soro se
obetina osumu se
sasi damena nyina bebu
emusio nkasasi damena nyina so bebuebu
sha dofunyi
wasem na yekan
kampo anore ebese she
my name is Pastor Ben. It's a pleasure to come your way at this point. Remember to like the transmission and share as soon as you come on board. Yebedin komo enyumri. Live with me on Facebook, Mr. Kofi Owusu Joseph. Menka woya na menka wusu. Menso mpanifo se etire nyanti ye de yenya echeswada. Ai etu obetwa. Mavis Blankson is live with me on YouTube. And Kunedo is here. Adele Dixon is right here. YK is here. Mr. Samuel Ofuriata is live with me now. Obia Momo Den say addition yebabe na nyumre yi. Obe participate because I'm going to discuss some of the spiritualities concerning the mysteries of death. Shiraba Sami is right here with me. Omodia say obedu ya pe na wa like a transmission no na wa share ede amayen. Enkoma yebedi no enwumre no eyenkoma emudo emu otro.
Ni amani hunu yi.
Ebe very important say obibi wa dream na obibi wani na wati nieme bi ase ede afa owu ho.
Ampa o. Ampa debi riboa. Ampa debi riboa. Yesu bebo. Ambara debi riboa. Debi Yesu bebo riboa. Yesu bebo.
Mami Rosina Boatin is joining the feed right now.
Debi riboa.
Kechiri empomu ti saying. Abusia obia o ti saying. So until Thursday, I'm going to be doing a simple series on death. And tonight we're doing episode 1 of the death series. It's going to be a brief series. One that will not have many episodes. The ultimate goal is that minemo beka atofu wasem. Then so before I be discussing atofu no. Esese me dem komo no chase free bed. Na me chire enema bi ani so. Na odesani bia boaboa no ho. Edema saa edai. Empanifo si uwatwide we obakomfro. Enye den ya ene obi ko ochina onso de ebreba. Eti ebeboa me ne omienu se yebenya nimde ediafa owu ho. Emfiti prekope na eba. Enam kwan bebre so na eba. Ede na onim fa ho. Ahosiesie be na wosiesie ediama sada no. It is not as such a terrible day. It is one of the important days and certain days in our lives. It is a wabedru jumadi ni so. Those watching live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Bomodia say obe like a transmission no wa say.
Yesubepuwe amaye hauyi tuweto. Eti munyedi oh munyedi. Munyeko muka musantu manodo. Baby ribo. Yesubepuwe amaye hauyi tuweto.
Atapokwa is joining all the way from Netherlands. Me mamu nyina akwa baby o. Ene eye eda kwasi ada.
Soro se musionka sasi tamena nyina bebuebue sikampo anore
onyu akwa akoto enji yewura eduade mu. Sa pepepe ajise US4. Mrs. Flores Osuansa is joining the feed now.
Mama Jidi Yesu bepua Yesu na na sheyemo yeyini na sheyemo se yako si yesi etina bebi amani moa
Nana Group Queen enso ababedu
musionka sasi tamuna nyina bebu
sene medi kan no enkomo na menu bidi no enkomo a imudo immortal. Some of the deep revelations about death important we nyina nimdie I say odasani bi o wasasi su no uhunu edifa adea edaho etwen no eno nti ebre no ekodida me yesenka no nson enso production no preparation no eche kakra isanse mfoni ni niema bi ana esese meboaboa no na ewie peye afei na abrewa ayi poma ekwan mu a menemo ebedi dwuma no enche bia ye bebɔ mpaye bomodin se obema unue bi wo fa bi asafo mpanifo eye executive council of Pathway to Heaven International Church mesrese mo be pay particular attention to series we because we will be making a very important decision nyankopon yadmo a eye Wednesday evening menim se sofo oforiata obeba bedu afei eye zone A zone B empanifo a ewo ho no ntuane ni nyina nso ebeba bedu RTP crew nyame adom anyumre omaba bedu asomdwem. We will make a very important decision when somebody dies in this church and that is going to be made out of the series we're going to do. Enti ebeye very crucial and important say asafo mpanifo ebedi adesua we echi ene asofo a yene monam ene ankrankre bia oye member of Pathway because when the decision is made it will change a lot of things ebese sanema bebre efa how we handle dead bodies. Enti very very important for me and for all of us say ibisua adesua we. You might want to take your pen, you might want to take your paper and jot down some few things if you say a very important for you. I know say this transmission is going to be left on social media. It will be on Facebook, it will also be on YouTube. Enti mi wechi womo a ebesi echiri ababiti ensem we no ebeboa ama wo mahu sanie omo beye omo ntotoye ediafa ewo atiasefo asasi iso sabre de me masima ba kope na busuafo nyina aba bomodin ase ubedu sepe like the transmission and share as much as possible. Unim se u use data na u data ni so a mesra bomodin ne to bika ho na ti adesua no ekosi na wieye. It will be very beneficial, it will be very eye-opening and mind-boggling. And semni biwa ebe wadwumu kensini na nso to bo asema me said the unyankopon be ma ho kwan no meso me breaking semni down ama obia atime ho ase. I'm hoping say me ma abrofosem no enoso. Esan say I'm as rich Minuanom Ghana for na yetumi edi nkomo wi ma enjiase awie peye. Sima ba akope me no ebebo empaye na yase yenkomo no ase. Echi twame meba just 1 minute pepepe. Ni nyina now they like it. Now they say jumedie no ama me. Yenkotie yendache na yemra.
Adiachi.
Missy you be a ready more. Na say baby so. Israel kupon kwa nini?
Adiachi yo. Ampa adiachi yo. Enina na yada soryo. Israel kupon kwa nini? Adiachi yo mama. Ampa adiachi yo. Adiachi yo. Tina media Messi. Misumidachi, Misumidachi. Mama Yesu Yadachi, what? Mama Yesu Yavi, say baby, Mama Yesu Yadachi, what? Mama Yesu Yavi, Ampa Diachi, Enina Nadiachi. Na say baby party, Mama Yanku Ponko Adenim. Ampa diacho, Yanina Nadiachi, say baby, Mama Yanku Ponko Adenim. That the Unkwana Wunimudia, with the Meosha we saw. My brother Bonina won't some, Miquanina so won't some. At the Unkwana Wunimudia, with the Meosha we saw. I am my brother Bonina won't some. Because you know, so I will some. It says, say, baby, party. One any say, baby, already. Ukwana will. It's the Bia, Massamuni, and a baby, me, baby, so maybe you. Mama, yes, to your dachi, what? Yes, to your Obia sora na pahima Wakrasa okwaba Ye obesa bedrufi asemi Yanku ponko anenim Obia sora na pahima hima Wakrasa okwaba obesa bedrufi asemi Yanku ponko anenim Eti Peter can send me Sister Peter can send me Wine chain kwa na yenko Daddy wine chain kwa na yenko Unawo wadan kwa sem Say baby, so that you want to win. If you ever see me saying you, I baby, me saying the same way. Wine anymore, Mama Yakupon, wine him. And see, they be a massamuni, and a baby, me so, Mary. Mama Yesu Yadachi, what? Christiania body a hair. O Christiania body, Mama Jadia, Waywati, a Sudachi, Suari, you are. O Christiania, Utmiaka hair. Ampa, Dakaye, Mama, don't go in.
All right, Jai, I don't go in. Misu mewiye abusia mama yemo empire na yense yenkomo no ase esanse ebre eni ho ema yensa mema munyina akwaba obia hotisen mesremo munyima no obiara biara ehotisen Facebook for moba ayamontan na mo ho adi. But ebeye ama me say me recognize my presence enti mesremo maba you like the transmission and then you share and then just give me high five and a hello mean me emau akwaba na yenhye yenkomo no ase eni die moma yemo erade empire esanse enkomo wi ehiama adwendwen Obadi nyankopon ene kwesi dada edi kan na wotwi mu yehiem eba bididi ye ho nkomo yeda wasese wode ye nkwa ache yen na wama yenidaso ewo mu se yewu achimpo no se bere mu yegiwudi a yengu yebenya nkwa eno nchi yeda wase edon mu yeba beko ensemi mu yeba be pensen ba mu ewu ne dwumadi ene ahuntasemo a ebata ho yempanifo aka kire yense obra etwawu saa semi wasem nso esi sudua se ampa etwaso nipa wu na niwu achi no atemu eda ho ema no dom ne ma yenti aseye ma yehunumu minu yanoma wo mani mie ewo nsemi ho mesrawo ene wasiesie ma no na woma me kwan a mefa so a ekyerechire nsemi mu ama won ate won ho ase na aginaye esese yesi as asofo aginaye esese yesi as ankrankre yatumi esi sai aginaye no na boa ama yimpuntuo atiasefo asase so na si free hanom konso a yene wankwankunya akwansidie bia emma yemma won chen dom ne kan ye ho enanwumre yi wodoba yaso ademunti amen. Agidifo nyina enye meso amen pa. Evangelist Samuel Nyako is live with me on the Facebook. Mesre say RTP crew mababi dudia auditorium hono monso TV noe. Na wo mo a any smartphones no omontumi have access to adisua na yebisua no rate afosu and so join me on YouTube for enumeri enkomono. So we're doing a brief series on death. There are many questions that people tend to ask. One of them is, what is death? And then one of the questions I will also be answering in the course of the series is, what happens before somebody dies? Ediebe nesi ansana obi ewu. Afi ensembisani bia ebano bother on premature death. Eye atofu. Ebi so bother about natural death. Se onipe wu kura ediebe na isi ni wu nachi. Ekobani se obi wu na yensie ni ntemu a ediebe ni free muba. Yesie no nkra mpo na yesie ni ntemu so a ediebe na efree muba. Eye den ena obi tumi ye samantwentwen na obetete abusunyafo. Eye den ena so obi wu a wewu ma yesie ne dededa enso obesonda ye no utumi hu owufo no ewo dayem. Enkomo bebre ena ekoso efa owu hu. Na nimdia ye wofa ho no nso isa. Enti yeto abeseno de nanso mesan afa akonya iso. Na ensemisa hudo bebre a ekoso nipa pi adwemu efa owu hu no. Matomebo ase achirichiri mu kakra kopem se yenyina yebenya ye honti ase. In fact, honam famudie se wone odofo ntem etiti a eya. Na nso to the departed soul ne okono de eye asempa ene asemdede edemano. Depending on abraba oboye ewo atiasifo asasi so. In this episode, no minimum baby discussing the processes are unipa fem. And sana doctors medically declare say wewu. Because even when doctors declare say ubiyewu, wewu nsu onwi. wawunso onwui. Enchi, we're going to go through the process. Na ansana ye be go through the process no. Me wo kokobo baako a ye shie mo ana ye kasade afa the clothes or the garments of the dead body. Ewufuo entade ene ontoma no kokobo baako efa entade ho a epa meniso kakra. Mepese medisa kokobo no ebeto ho. Na so ye obadwenma na wutie mi a hwiye na wanye saade bi onkwana aka atiasefo asase so na saa wone no nso ekoma yen asorefo yen ekristofo wan se Hosea kan sembi ewo Hosea 4:6 osinimdi a memman ninti oman no eyira. For lack of knowledge, my people perish, or my people are destroyed. Eniema bebre owa esan se yenni hunimdi enti no. Yeye nedo ohaw abrayin. Kokobono enisen. Obeche hu se emprimprin ni ekoso wo Ghana ha ene ebibrim aman bibri ni se ye kwa sori a obia se natadie die obifra kabanisiri ne entomesie guso eye na odeko na ye wo this habit apart from se obia se natadie na wako hia demo anason demo no oma san akwa kope entoma oma pimpam entoma asori ni tumi etisika ekoto materials ne yetwitwa ne entomasin na yedi akwa kugu ason demo sign to masin no omo de hye orses for ninsa omo a eboama osoma dwuma no entotoye within the setting of the service no ekoso no na omo de sa entoma no ahye orses ninsa omo de hye orses ninsa atwen den omo de hye orses ninsa atwen deliverance time. Mumu bibria mo prophetic ministries, any prayer ministries, no, a common phenomenon, a idea ekosopa during the course of their so-called deliverance. Now, those deliverance sessions, according to them, a demonic and evil possession deliverance. It normally the omo yene say entomano a oma provide wason demo no nipa na yesi oye demon possessed ahomonia senema eti yeba be deliver no yeba be gine free sa ahomone ni nsem no na ye de san to mesi no oma provide wo demo akwa kutwan nipa nimu most especially a man. Because a very rare, a very difficult so be say the sign to men sin be a time obey mem and I diabo obey masin. Is an so obey ma the enya denya or send trousers enya dia no bi go. Echi aya nen to mano and come my memano. Most of the times what I've seen with my eyes and on TVs aya a comma a mano. A mano near this sign to my sin we etwintwon mumu sene be ya se oteto a sebi na deje mu nyedan engu ho ana ne hu enna. Now let's look at the procedure. Yesi nipa na homoni ahyenema ahohomoni ko ahyenema de meme kwakuminimu but odifo na the only the prayer and deliverance session is say oye demon possessed obi so yesi ya mantam no edina boduyem ichi esese ye deliver no ne san ni free sa mantam nim obi nso ya chechire no dina kwa akose baby a only God knows the prophet discovered obi nso yese ya saman uwu edi amano obi nso yese ya toyare edi amano obi nso yese ya boni duya matiemu ho because eho no meyam seme obi so yo say yaboni dua It's all these spiritual issues. You know, I have already told you, say, spiritual matters, they are way too complicated to be explained. Or this physical or this material or gross world. We are see women who masemono, nekano, ninchirichirimuno, etodebia eyeding. Because it is any obako for kuna or barbeka. Gidi wum na ya nisa. Eti na matu mebua se ebobo science miso na se wunim say jumedia eko so this so called deliverance na and to maybe ene mo yede emfem fam mo no kai said the first person yade to manage na name no yesi yaboni dua bonso se ye nane na de ho batani pa na isan etumi nyam nipa na yabo ni dua na ye ba be deliver no ni ya break dua bo no ye de ntuma no twa ni mu wi next person ye mo ni dua no se ntuma na ye si ye deliver no ye de atwa ni mu ana ye de abo na sen no na ye de san ntuma no so aba be fra the next person owo different issue ye ba be deliver no na womo masam ye me mobo those poor ushers. All says no mugu dem omonka deliverance people no womo ye be deliver omonka ho utumi fa ntuma no de agu ni kom oba be yi dia kon next person so. I sit back behind the screens and I ask myself, do you people even understand what you are doing? Do you know the repercussions of San Tumanoa? They claim some ye possessed if it is indeed the situation they explain to be. Bebaja munim na moche dia mo ye na se. I am be a Christo for me de mebusamu. I say mo hu Christo abroso. Mo hu Yesu abroso nyame beye no. Jimie no yado so too much enji me pese mebusamu. Edifo na omo lead such sessions na moni agye ho a ye yintuma na free ni yabo ni dua ho. Na ye yintuma na free di ato yare ama no ho. Na ye yintuma na free di ono no yade boni ababeto no so. Sorry. Di ya samai owuo. Edi ama no no a yade ntuma na twan ma ye free ni so. Na mame yade ababesia wo so no. Do you have any idea what you're doing? So we need any idea. I am supposing say by mere, expatiating the matter no what the me person me can say. Me did say what doing akwa kudru baby ya me kono ho. Mumu bebre mu akwa kofa duabo. E de free ason dem. Mumu bebre premature death. Atofu ason dem na mokofa no emma ni titiru oba no de aba be kanikunu ni konti ni baby odwen ho no okofa this one free entoma ni mu wiya o sano ono onim se saa niema na ekoso no epra no edi ninya no onim no okofa no de aba be san na busunyafo. It is here the moya de won say mo kwa sorry kofa problems na mo dia bebusu anim na wo mo anka omu nim ho hwe o ma ba bituaka mesremo santo manoa edi ehima during deliverance if we so na eko so no say ampase ye boni dua na ye deliver na don't be fooled. Okay, don't be fooled. Just as the soul of a departed person includes ebeye habitat, ebeye baby a ahonhomoni nyina atumi ekote. It is a work of fasha. Edi o how breo no. Sana the so-called people who are possessed, you are receiving their possessions. Adekodia spiritually ebatanwa ababeye embodied. Ababeye meka embodied attached to the subtle body and attached to the gross body or material body. Ababeye attached to the soul. Ababeye attached to the body. because there is a connection between the body and the soul. The cervical cord or the astral cord now connecting the soul and the body. No, any garment that comes on you, any spirit of possession that comes upon you, it is transmitted in the clothes. Odie obetumi atna video nechi no wakase menyini. It is absolute nonsense. There is no scientific explanation to what the Osofo is saying. Go and do your scientific calculations and your scientific research, and leave me to talk about the spiritual matters. Unyinia, whether say ujidi na unyini doesn't change the rules of engagement. What is there in the spirit? And most of you, it is ignorance that is killing you. Ignorance that is killing you. So if you don't know, so be a dwaman for now kofana tadi sa a dwaman muni urawo. Simple. So whatever we are born, whatever semna a deep for ne cannot yet descend to messing be a chinkai a mano. Asing ye de bubo mumu namon so all says mudi go mukom obi to be the gunikum say the next person be delivered and no way no aside their quantity. You are only transferring the problems amongst yourselves. It is some of you, you went to the church with just a single issue. You left there with more serious and detrimental matters. And niyama ebe kumwo, ebe sewo. Yari ananka wunye bida, and to mesi in muno, wakwa kufa. If it's a say sume yari no muyi free no muno, a yawona obejeye. Esa to mani bigu so, yed bi chanmu. Or ye no kujeni mano amane saso. Na osane di ntuma na ba betwa ne mu adenti na mon sentadia ese fata na mon fankwa sori samon ta de fon ne mun sei hunu na mudi no ehu amane e na makwa akofa no ichi. Even before I start with my discussion for tonight, ma memfa sa kokobo wi eni anim so kwa sorry bisa tuhufo. Be advised and understand near echo ukrem. Understand the air just because of entumesimbia. A sorry no edia guhonum. Na the air moboni say, Santo mano omo the ye deliverance ni ya. Omo to me the gu ason demo who. Ason demo. And so the proper process ni say, every session biano. Omo the santo mani bipi no makwa kusi. Omo si ana insu no omo shegu outside the church compound. We die it you me go ebenada. If you are the musensia the same thing. It's a dining one kasano a evil possession. It's a diner also walk deliverance and ankasano. And monina jedina boso. Nimdia mi main nindi. Moira. Medie me kamwe huntasem. Senkamu beti kokobon semia. Enkebeboamu. You who free said you medianim. Separate yourself from it. Laying of hands, don't accept it. Shaking of hands, don't accept it. Transfer of the same ntoma, don't accept it. And yanom, be very, very mindful. Now, regarding this same cloth in Tomane adiadiano. Sebetumia asema making TME. Ebetumia TME. Anytime be a Obeko hospital, especially a painful moko antenatal, Muamon famon to mesi enko. Why? Found to mesi enko. Ebeyen to mesi no, famiyenu. Okay? Famiyenu. Minim hawa Muamoko public hospitals no minim senye e won society. But the same bedspread obi koda so unim de nipa no carry enodinam. Me say nyankopon pe enebo nipa ho ban because the ignorance is just too much. The ignorance no just too much. Obi to make kwa so or maybe you ubekum unim ni ubekum no bedspread no Sa hospital sheet no a say adie ne so no yanhoro yensi, because the moment clothes ever enter into soap and water, there is cleansing, there is purification. Now so akwa so me yako say adie no da so sheet no da so no we live ne how do I put it? What transfer what or wield it into it. It yebeya wo okwa found to medicine appeal for amoko antenatal family. Okay, if you want to be very critical, busa say sheet in yasesa ya free so for to medicine now they call so that's who we are forward never call. The other one, no, Fanuchan was saying, don't use the hospital one. TMA, kum, nase, upiniya, hospital hono, eye wo kwa, enwe juma, enkwe nimu na okwakoye. You have every right to use your own clothes when you go there. That no nurse, no doctor can tell you what to do. In fact, the American, it applies to guest house. Yes. If the bedspread is not changed, now kodaswa. You must make sure say it is a fresh one, it has been changed. If you want the best, if you know you're going to use a guest house, get extra seat. Okwa yidi was only free so. Faodi and necessary. Neda. Ensem bebreu na ne enchi American science emwe ye onipa binum wo ho a spiritually no you are down. Muni ya hoden. Muni you are not weighty. Eniema bi somumu a ebetumi abringe mo down. Mumu bebreu a moni maye nifrafo. Munim ne yeko, munim ne yeba. Eti ye kwa ye be nyina esan bebree ene ye nenam. Enunchi na wo asasi so a anka ne papa mu no som onyankopon no a obetumi atwitwade wo. Onyankopon no a oye ade bia asase ni mfimfini na wieye. Enso oni asase eni mfimfini eni awieye. Enso ade bia oye na asase eye ni mfimfini esaye na wieye. Senke betumi asa gwankobia no that safe haven no. Anka somsay nyankopon no nukrem ani hunhumu ne di ni nsese yeso to a large extent no obebon ho baye free sa ne me ya mebobo no bebre so wo a onya mesom nye wo a ompai bonye Kristo som aya akosi amai enkoa a ye frena akosi amankwa nya mesom na bi na okurem brambo bi ani ho daresin bi ani ho siehunu bi ani ho nimde bi ani ho sorry a oni nemwiase ni musa ne yanko a ne beto de ni enyan na obesia ensensam ne amane a enya wodia ene ba besia obra kwantuemu. Life is a teacher, and so when you get the opportunity to listen to a wise man, pay attention and listen carefully. Enye da bia na obesi obi a obebiebie na bebie ni so dia kyerɛw ahweyiye wom 1 Peter 5 verse 8 Awurade asɛm ne se momma monim na ho efisɛ motamfo bonsam no nani abre obobom se jata opedi obinya no amene no obadwe ma owa aso no ontie asɛm a meekan na onhyɛ ne so saa nsɛm ya mabobosu ya mese eye kokoboyi se open yi a som nyankopon yi to husi oma onyamesompa. Remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy, keep the laws and the principles, the statutes. Emrebia onyankopon asesama no hwe ne diso ne bom modern se asasi su obeye onipa papa. Be a person of good deeds, ma enyumapa adwempa akomapa sane manmanini wanim abribia. Think no evil, conceive no evil, do no evil, cause no trouble, make no trouble. These are some fundamental rules. odinam abraboyimwa to a large extent. Oh, ahubaimbo to a large extent. But precautionary motives indeed. If you're going to use a guest house, please get your own seat. All right? Your own seat. Change the seat. If you are not sure, say it is a fresh one, change the seat before you sleep. If you're going to the hospital, especially a painful antenatal time, no, during the time of labor, normally the seat they change it because every labor they change the seat. But be very mindful and say what so when next you are entering the hospital, when next you are entering any public facility, a use seats a yen and toma in tam near the idea. Anytime you are entering a public facility, make sure say obekai asemwa and you mri makachiro na shenin so papa efamami isan say one ya ubi ebesisa God's program lineup for your life. Now, adinchi na meka sa semwi. Se metumia chirem kakra bi ama wati asia onipa. You are made up of two main components. We me conclusion. Se meka se me bonitofa onipa biya. You are made up of two main components. You are just like the computer. You are just like the computer. Now, what is the composition of a computer? Two main things. Computer and the composition are two main things. The two main things, if you care to tell me, YouTube, Facebook, no. If you care to tell me what are the two main components of a computer, two main things. You can't computer. Two main things. Under the two main things, you will the subset and an chichemu ewo. Mumu why enobe to me briefly. Aka edia mami. Na minyina so emfamu enim komon for ye nipedua. There are many things about ye nipedua noa we need to understand. Enti debi amasema mekani say, said the onyankopon wayemi no, wayemi a capable leader. Eti die obebu me. Na odimi beye bribi na obetie masem no obeje ne wafri niema bebree mu esan say me nim komo abonten me di me nkomo bra matena se ana me gina pulpit nechi a esese me boa onyankopon ma. What are the two main things, two main arms of the computer? Okay, ebre nti mi ame de bebo me ho. We have the hardware and the software. Every computer be two main divisions. The hardware and the software. The hardware no the hard components of the computer. But guess what? Sa hardware ni na the bema na ye useful the software. It is a computer the very very crucial for every computer the software, because software ni break it down say say software ni break it down say all the hardware useless. And for so be any so yakoye ni pay wonam body ya this material body, this gross body na hunu the hardware untini unompe the nose, your ears, your eyes, and those things. Ni all of these all of them no hardwares. Guess what? They're running this hardware. The software. It is the software. And what is it? Spiritual matters, metaphysical matters, and not running this hardware. If you don't pay attention to the software, you will break down. It's as simple as ABC. This is how it is. It is spiritual things, A dozen. It is just 1%. The yemfa yeni who are running the whole universe, 99%. And this 99%, the software applications are running the entire universe, running your entire human system. Inside of you, there are processes you cannot touch, but they are happening. How can you touch your senses? But there's a program installed in your system. Running. How do you maintain your body temperature? There is a software running. And the software is very, very important. If you don't pay attention to the software, you're going to break down. It's a mechanical material body out in Namui. There are so many spiritual and niyama a connected nipedua way a function. A be a virus this material body nim na babe say o. It will be say oh a hospital mpake na mekoda so oh a you been to makeke and be frame. You have forgotten say there are software applications that everybody is running around his human anatomy. And supposing somebody's software and application na all running a virus to your system a beba be round a baba be kum a beba be break you down. It is a obetie me asopemua. This is not my discussion for tonight, but a warning medema say tobuase tie de meka no me pa che minim se wonim se me Matthias ye minim se wadwe mu abie se me Matthias ye minim se wo ye biomedical scientist Matthias ye wo ye microbiologist Matthias ye all your scientific niema no nim na odi fa why but in some na meka no whether you are a microbiologist, whether you are a biomedical scientist, whether you are a biologist or whatever, it doesn't change anything God has designed. Any installation unyankopon put in place to run the entire universe plus your material body, it doesn't change anything. Ignorance has killed a lot more people than the HIV itself. Ignorance has destroyed a lot of people's lives than poverty. Ignorance is a serial killer. Nimdia me main ninti obre oira etimesremo kokoboyi sheninson. Be mindful anytime you are entering a public space. If there are seats you're going to use, one more a provided towels near the they say for people if it is possible use tissue. Don't go and use a hotel towel. Don't go and use hotel carry your towel around, carry your sponge around. It doesn't hurt to carry them around. To a large extent, be conscious of your own security. Okay, your spiritual security, your physical security. Be conscious of it. Be mindful of it. Send your beya. Nyankopon no the human factor no so na oye odie se wate masia inhyira ne ho Awurade moawo no nka ho na penya mesompa na sum nyame yi na jai enkwara adwene eni jimi na emfa wo nkosi hwe ahanom ena mede mafutuo no ebesi me home so 30 seconds na afei yenhye yenkomo no ase. There must be an INT'L to prepare your mind for the real message for tonight. Thank you for listening.
Amani hunui usuni amani hunui Yesu bepuwe amani ninara tuwetu usuni amani hunui ampao Yesu bepuwe amani ninara ampa debiribo.
Asemna meka ye no se wo bi a oye dwuma e wo hospital a oye nurse ye calling se dwuma no amoye no nursing for mo amohwe ayarefo empanifo nurses and doctors mo amoye se dwuma no mo ti sa sofo pepepe. You are dealing with so many spirits. You are dealing with so many spiritual issues. You have no idea. First, you say anytime you meet somebody at the facility, you are meeting a different spirit. You don't know what the person is carrying around. Because obi kura ye boni duana eye no fone na eto de bia otumiko ayaresabia. You have encounter with those people. It is as deadly and dangerous and warring as asofo ye dwuma ye ye ni mu gina the same scale. Okay, ABA ye de no ye a bit weightier, but modie most often than not you are having physical contact. It is you will be a send ye yare be a communicable mutumi wuntem mo ye front line for mutumi wuntem no so for the ABA meti hey me ye medjuma, but I don't have any physical contact with people. Ebanisa to a large extent I'm safe. Even at the church premises, you know, say me wo esoro and a pulpit netina me obi benya physical contact. When I decide to speak or dialogue with a person one on one, and maybe I'm in benya physical contact. But more juma or hospitals, nursing homes, you know, you have no option. Munni any option. You have direct access because in nipano upe impo obetachino. Umpo as I said, the material, the gross way no, and no, you will be exposed to them. What do you do? So, more dear, and Sasa Mekatsa say, every time you return from work, you must enter the Moseye, and some will run wabonting. Them. Orono abontin, it doesn't enter your bedroom. Orono abontin, the first thing orogu is you put a little bit of salt in it. Now one kasano so no every time. And chin, as I say, what we gaye. Once you know what segum, you must cleanse yourself every day. Every day. So yes, how dear we are, your nurse, you will be much to a large extent. Now show a braboni oni unyanko pontem 90 year. A large extent, you will be a problem-free nurse. Obi atofu wo tumi be se wokum mani ye. Yes, asemna meka no momfa the serious. Momfa the serious papa. Isan say eyensem wa ehu. Nurses bebre omu ni jawo abrabo imu. I'm telling you, nurses bebre omu nia waripa because they pick up negative energies from people omu ni omunya contact. Womu eyejuma ewo mortuary. Misuma wom. I don't know yet to a large extent ankofono dodo na nante dodo no echi. Itinaya most often than not on aya na omu ye a bit more spiritually inclined than ye and Nama Bontino. What do you say? But ye nurse ni ubiye wu wasesano wa prepare no ye de no a yoma befano komog. You know the souls of those people are hovering around. Just say if we see we na ye name no, it is not a home, a new fee. Emun samne doson. Emun samne doson. Eti the bet me a Johnny so be any papa to a large extent. We need penny na be dini nafe wasum yankopon yi na baby a human factors ubetumi set some guidelines in the baby a be protected no why it think ebetumi offer extra clothing and sana wako your friend is saying a juma as a nurse, all right. And then I believe some more washrooms near the day when your salt be at the account, what they engineer gum, what was it, what cleansing, what's the extra clothing, or the no befi, do this. And some who and some ha soon sumun semono a software. How many applications are coming into you? And do you have any idea how those applications or softwares work? Software be or now the bar operating system so or computer so you will come and crash the system. You will break it. Software be incompatible. It doesn't fit. And how is it gonna be? Many of you spiritually you are bankrupt. Spiritually you are weak. You are down. You've been broken. Or bonnet for no person will break you no finish a one time new review. And that is why as ministers of God, most often than not, we stay away from water and food. We stay away from sex. And then we devote ourselves to prayer and fasting to energize and to strengthen ourselves. And constantly we are cleansing ourselves. I am constantly cleansing myself. I'm constantly chewing herbs. Ebemami energy to be able to withstand all these negativities around me. All manner of people will come to you. And when they come and they are leaving your office, what do they leave there? It's a matter for you to think about carefully. Say uchi de making na oye de mechirechron kakran kakranoa. I'm sure say you will avoid a lot of problems. Thank you once again. Na eye me se me wi. Then so me di account. Ochine bi you won't blame me. Say manye medwuma yi. Maye ni akase won so obeye wodie. Na yi nyina yetwitwa agye ye ho. Medase. Enyumri enkomo yidi no episode 1 me be ni brief because already I've gone an hour. Me kasafa the processes unipa fem ansana wewu. Ai unipa emfiti prekope emu. Eka 7 days ama nipa ne wunsu a obehu se oba biwu. Na Osenkafo Ecclesiastes 3:2 no say a time to be born and a time to die. Echi uchiumu time ubewu. But eka 7 days amonipa biye wu uhu. And womu a ete hu say omu biwu no eye nkofo a omo ba asase so no tie nkomo ni yi. Omo ba asase so no omo bon modern eye papa bibri esen bone. Awurade asem ne se me de papa ne bone esi wonim. Nanso metufu se fa papa ne nyankwa. Eti so bi etumi ye papa ne papa ye no edoso esen ne bone a oye ya. Eka 7 days ama nipa ne wu a. The messengers of death, omonam 7. The messengers of death, omonam 7. Aka 7 days ama wewu no. Omudi untente. Baby abekubia no mu monitaw. Enti ubia oweni. Se uhu sa messengers of death no a. Utumi frɛ okachiro se uwu bon hu. Eti bomoden ne ye bibi fam. Wan kasan no so a aka 7 days ama wewu no. Se oye papa mane doso asasi so a. You are able to sense your sensitivity no be very huge. Eti wa u feel the presence of death. During the 7 days, you can call for help and drive the messengers of death away from you. How to drive them away from you? Mechere. Yewo directions ne niema ubetumi aye. 7 days no a messengers of death aben wo no. Ubetumi apamo mafiri nchen. Normally womo ayebo mudia ana womo a omu bewu atofu no. Aya almost sense sa niema we more. Angel messengers of death no angel of death and the summer messengers of death. Turn with me your Bible to Revelation chapter number 6 verses 7 and 8. Revelation chapter number 6 verses 7 and 8. Yenin komoki tuebi ewo. Making kind no enti no menim say RY, I think say RY is absent. Making kind no if possible may read the English as well. But so be betumi load the English ewo comment line wa na wa load the ede amami wisdom so my Revelation chapter number 6 verses 7 and 8 or say na otin so anoa etoso 9 no. We that's we may a flying screw EDBC the woman in a basket me ba case ni so case no me be kire ya ba enso ano no cases no eti enso ano etoso 9 no mo a unim enwa disuano me pa you can go back to the YouTube channel ubenya the message on the flying screw start from there edoba be all the seals Okay, eti ensano etoso na we yati ano deda. Eti a wide spread of death. If you check with the New King James Version, a wide spread of death. A out of woo. Okay, there is nothing natural about this death. No, it doesn't follow the natural discourse. Senye ubi ekoda sumbimu. It doesn't follow. Eti timidin. Na me baby when he won sembibria efa uwo. Remember to like the transmission. A very important say adisia menu ye obe say na obi etie. Eti na me ye ni twi no se ne be ya Ghana fo wo mo etime kasa ni nyina ebeti de me kana se. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do this message, the English version now, because every enemy side. Eti bomodin say oba, the more you like no, it making it possible say ubi a over YouTube no on this subject no ubi hunu the wakwa kuti. Maybe just your sharing or your liking will save a soul. Eti making kind or say oti ensanoa etoso nine no anono. Beti say oti asefo otoso and nine no say bra. Verse 8 na mi hunu yi na hwe oponko sunsun bi nie a pale horse na de oti ne so ne din e de owu. Na asamandu edi nachi na woma won asase so abupan mu enan mu ba kusu tumi say onfa afna ene kom ene owuo ene asase so moa enkunkumwom eti anytime a owuo beyi ni ti no or messengers eka no ho odifo Jeremiah ema ye hu say owuo owo owuyade eti the messengers no say ukọ other women almost from Yamadutes. You can check it up. Ewo Gogo, I think it's a messengers of death. O Gogo ubemu image no. Let me give you how the images they look like. Omo ye giants and omo ye horrible and terrifying figures. These are messengers of death. No, o the Gogo you see omo ye giants. Ubemu say there are chains in their neck, omukra sword, and then wemo ena ebabe disconnected the body from the soul. They are messengers of death. Omoba 7 days before the death of the individual. Eti mesremo before ubewuno, ubia obewubia ubehunu. It depending on how a opapa ye edoso enti sa wo asasi so a but modern say obema wo papa ye no aye dey adoso. E wom say no matter how righteous you are, obeye boni. Yes, Bible aka. Osenkafo 7. Osenkafo 7:20. Ecclesiastes 7:20. Tie Erade say ose ampara. Onipatiri ni biara eni asasi so a oye papa na onye boni. The Americans say what you say. Pick up your English Bible and read Ecclesiastes chapter number 7 verse the number 20. Or say, for there is no just man on earth who does good and does not sin. Eti enye de ya wakoye nipai emfomso mako mienu miense bi ebeba ho ye wo boni bi o a edi nipa ko wom ye wo boni bi o a emfa nipa enko wom se ne First John ekan ye no. But the American say onipa bi ya eka 7 days ama wa ba bi wu a, okay, you will know, because the messengers of death omo beba aba be visitew, and within that week na oba be wuno omo bedi untente baby a wo ko bia no omo di wachi e no mo monitor wanamon 5 to 4 hours before wo be wuno e no mo disconnect wo from your soul. Process no mo de fa mu omo de ofa mu no. I'm going to show you the process, but these are the messengers of death. We call them the Yamadutes. Omo ye very horrible. They are giants. They are terrifying. Now, anytime you see them around you, these entities, you see, there are a niyama obetumia ye edia pamu wom every chain, if and only when Wona wu sang kofo we no these wo abofo no mo ba befa wakono on befa okra na kono se wabobra a ekire se o papa ye no doso ese wo boni a enie na direction no a mekire no eno de se osofo na wutie mi na obeye wo nipa ne hu se wo a wutie mi no a oda ebi owo mpaso ana won nam ana ye ka che se owo bo no wona obe call for help medie memfreme age so ye asoreba ai se wonya asoreba emfreme because inwan na nyame de ma me say me protect you no onka ho eti odi eti adesua no na osofo na ote ne na ase no ontie bi na omoa but se wonya asoreba I'm done with that those course no I'm not ready. Your life and death are cause of war. You are not under me, so I'm not responsible for saving your soul in this lifetime. No opa, you can save your soul from damnation. But physically, as I see super now, sorry, but now me baby time. No, I won't do that. So means so unless you are under me. If you are not under me, you are not part of my flock. It's no near nature and obey me at ye. Now I call brabo. But some me will be frame me a catch him so papa me tie Facebook me show we me nisa time no we are sorry but dear I will take care of you because it is my duty towards the flock. It's not the sending so mommy baby I do no I won't give time for because ba beje emwa na wasan kotoa unkwasi asem so woni wo sofo ko na monnam hono mompe bra papa bi abo mompe nyamesuro bi esuro mompe homeda bi edi na wa ba be frame say memwa na wo wi a wakwa kotoa unkwasi asem so I will not have that time ubetumi achie ade no amechire no na kope nwa abrabo ebo iti sa ogidi se baby a wo som no ubenya ahoto ne asomdwe a tina ho emesre emwa emfemfiri Pastor Bernard Honum. Ahobrasiem na mdeka sasemui. 87 days before your death, you know. Now, the messengers of death, no omejumane say, they are going to stay around you for a week, 7 days. During that week, they are going to take you through the process of death. Now, let me put it here. Say, just as human beings are not born in a day, you don't die in a day. Say, one catch the mekaino, I'm taking it again. Say, I can say, Yawu be a and yet that crony di wu nipa. There be. Before you be no. It taking 9 good months. I thought there be to me go beyond even 36 weeks to 38 weeks and even 40 weeks. And Sunday ya wunipa. It ye daba kope near the wo. Then so it taking 9 or 9.5 months. And Sunday ye wo. In the same way, when you die, you don't die at once. It is when somebody dies. Within some few hours of the death, ye won near maybe a free nipanimu, says Saniamano, a being free nimua, or any opportunity as a divine person, and will be a yet metaphysically oriented, say, Ube to me a revival nipano back to life. Because when doctors declare somebody dead, it is only when they know that the breath of air has ceased. And from mano akumane pumping from money to trap, that circulation of air is easier. And now medically, doctors declare will be dead. So medically, you've been declared dead, but you are not dead at that point. Okay, just losing your air, your breath of air, doesn't make you dead. It would take up to about 14 hours. And not the edruwa. There is nothing any divine person can do about it. Unless Christ, who is the resurrection of life or the dead, and I will be to me, I intervene. Amasadi Nabaso. 87 days before your death, you will know, depending on Abraba Oboye. Now, fast forward. 7 days, no eson. Da Obabi Wunu. 4 to 5 hours. BBC. As I say, angels of death we. Omo disconnected your material body from your subtle body. Now, some kanisa ye wo honam ye wo okra. So no anybody know there is a cord that connects the soul and the body. And that cord is what we call the cervical or astral cord. Let me give you an idea how it looks like. Now, I want you to carefully look at the image on your screen. Carefully look at it. You can see, say, there is a soul of the person lying down. Obiana odahono. Obeun say, a soul nefri ni mu ena a was rosa. All right. Now, when we say ahomatie be connected, the soul and the body. This is what I'm talking about. And on American was the cervical cord or the astral cord. Eti sunsumuno ahomabi connected body no. Ena uso no. Now, sa womana connected the body and the soul no. Enona etumima uso no enanti ko baby bra body nada. Tie nkomona meni udini body ni da ho. Wada. Ti se ne mami eda ho yi. Okay. And so hu another you ewo baby. Sisi ameno ka say enkran ne yewo. And so ubetumi ada empaso won kran ha. Hu another body of you ewo kumase. Okay. Now, sa body of you na uhun wo kumase no. That is what we call diason dream. Okay. And only your friend is said that it's what the body need a ho, but another body within you no epi ena enenam. And only your friend that son. It is so ni pie free monekwa. That cord na uhunitia between the two bodies, you know. Bako eye material body hunem nankasa and on that form no. And a bako ye the subtle body or crano the soul na ewo muno. It is the soul na woman and also another body, but are connected to your material body, and that connection are the astral or the cervical cord, and on the connected. It will be to me and will say, oh, so na yepa, and so obi adding inside a tattoo nipeduana, obi tattoo shape within a nanosecond. Now, or can let you near some baby say nipeduanim now when you're at the frame. It is as long as that cord, that cervical cord, and as an astral cord, no, as long as a munti, no, anytime you are dreaming or your soul has departed from you, your touching material body ni say, hey, sorry, automatic, na so no, as I action about bedding, about shape body nim, na wabu piti, no idea, no unyan, say, say Diana me mason. This is the assignment, messengers of death, 4 to 5 hours before your death. As I said, yes, we nipeduyano, and they crying them. So they have a very sharp blade. During the last moment of your last minute in this lifetime, they are going to disconnect your subtle body from your material body. Omo ba be disconnected okrano from nipedriano. And how did they do the disconnection? They will just cut this cervical or astral cord. They are connecting the body and the soul. No, omo be twem. Ye twem say pe. Now the soul is disconnected from your body. And once the soul is disconnected from the body, you are going to be an image like this. Ube say image no near ebeni. Afe ahomebia ensemu bio. Unye huni say we no sadie we no. You will not see say wobusiafo gina wa omuhu, doctors fo gina wa omuhu, but na adie we yeden koso. It is a image ni say ya. Now, you cannot see any line connecting the body on the floor or down there to the soul and at the subtle body. Now, it will be no. ECOBANK say, pe, who say nipa we say, you are now not just medically dead, but metaphysically you are dead. Once the cervical cord is disconnected, you are actually dead. Now, I'm taking you through the process little by little. There are processes. The first step is after 7 days ama wawuno. Messengers of death ebeba aba be monitao. Say ye ka kwansia e na wo ba be fa so ewu a obia obewu e wo ka ni mu bia no, they will come and monitor you. Say wo ni mu a, there is nowhere be disconnecting the subtle body from the material body, and I said there is nowhere be disconnecting the soul from the material body. Omonte okra no eni nipadua ne ntem. Agi se owo na eba besi ewo nkwansie ni mu no okam. Adia ba ko a prevent the messengers of death from taking your soul away when you sense ananya mini pebi ana obi a owo psychic eye ana owo third eye ewu se owo bon ho a, what the person can do ni say obegina wo papa ye a wo ye ni bebrebe ewa asasi so. Eti na Bible ni say onipa onim oma ana onim papa ye no ni kum din ewo Nyankopon nsam. Eti wona masasi so a bo modern say to the best of your ability no be ye papa. Unua wo kire na boa no u oni bia hunimobo ma yam sese ma onipa da sani ti se wo eni emim sam ne eti modern sam ne etudura sam empempi no ade a yede ye wa enye ode no emfa nye wunua, because during the 7 days of your demise, you know, say angels and messengers of death no ba around you. Now born in the door, there is nothing anybody can do about it. They will take your soul, they will do the disconnection, and then you become a fatality to this entire world. Abraham Gusu Americhurch and me pacha o wasimbisa obetumi diaba. Isan sensemo ameno ken eyade a enipa momfa moni hunu, but eyade ekoso. Yamadutes no ba eye messengers of death no mo ba be ye disconnection no, they don't just disconnect you, no. Omo benante 7 days. It is a will be a spiritual father, and a will be a papa yena doso na eniema etwa nwesiane ye kronkron a be pacho a bebwa ama wetumi asevu. So maybe you may have some extra time ubedi wasasi so ansana obekwa wako omunya ba unchen sepe 4 to 5 hours of your death na afei omaye disconnection. They will sever the astral cord, or what we call the cervical cord. And this is the image of the cervical cord or the astral cord, connecting the body and the soul. When this disconnection is done, the work of the messengers of death is finished. Omo kate line tianwa uhunu wo body na emunu eda form no ni okra no a ewo ewie mu no a omo twa sa line ni mu sepe afede ye de ensabo wa osori a enyeyi unyane a enyeyi. Esan say the soul has lost its material possession. Adia ebua so no mani tumi tina asasi we so no yetwam wanum ni twam the messengers of death. Once the disconnection is done, your soul leaves the body, and when the soul is leaving the body, you are going to see something like this. You're going to see something like this. BBC disconnection number. So at once the soul is disconnected and it must leave the body. Normally it leaves the body through the gates, either the gates of your body, and I say through any of the gates of your body. Usually through your mouth, and a far edi epi, and I say upie free mu, depending on whatever lifestyle you have. Na okrano edi free mu echo. This is the initial process. Onipa bia wufri asase so obefem. na ebano atofuwa ehon senkaye no eye a little bit complicated and different from the process na me de ofemu no. I will not eat into atofuwo ni de no. Now I'm only going to explain the natural process a obia fem. Eti midru atofuwo no de na maba be chirem kwaya obi befa so a obi wu even the messengers of death no, they will be so hidden in the view of anybody. Meba be chirem kwaya efa so a eba ne sa, because atofuwo bia no, there are some powers in play, demonic powers in play, some demigods in play, some demons are a year juma preventing anybody from, stopping the death of that individual. Adenja, because a ye boni bi and a why man atraso and ye di the elements of this earth, abonidia in Jebanisa. Many of the incidences are hidden. They are hidden from the sight of even psychics. They are hidden from the sight of even men of God who have third eye. There are no revelations of that sort. I will explain to you how that also happens in the course of time. Okay, yantuaso. Now, make us say onipa yam fiti dako ni edewo. It taking 9 months and sana ya wodakro. And so it takes some processes and sana eventually wababiwu. The visitation of the messengers of death, the disconnection of the cervical or the astral cord, you disconnect via. Now, the body which lies there must go through a process. And sana ubewua wewuampa. Na ahanom na mepese ubetie miyi. Because se yenya disconnect the cervical cord and the astral cord. Eye sa ahoma we yenya disconnect say pe. The moment you be disconnect no, there are 5 elements ewonipem. All of them must leave the body before we can finally say ana okra ne begia tum say wewuamba. There are 5 elements, and the 5 elements we need to know about are very, very important. These are the same elements. Se uhunu these elements in you. Na usia unyen chere efa sa element you. Na utumi harness the powers in these elements. You will easily break through. Debi ameka say, womo a edi kan bedi mechia omo pepere omo koye no. Eyo mo se ne yeseso mo ti no mate awie. Debi munya ntehwe. Eniema emudo, eniema sumsum ne humu no. Asofo ne adifo ne ntumi nka no. Ni nyina no they are packed within me. Until say me wunu say people are ready for the kingdom of God. They have understood the principles of money. They have understood their destiny. Oma go through some process no. Eniema bi wo ha. There is no way I can pre-expose you to them. Because medicine him de ne bampa esubia enim faso e de maw atiasefo asase so. Eti sabre disconnection ne ba sei pe se cervical cord no eye ahoma no a connect okra anybody no messengers of death no e betwem sei pe. All the 5 elements in the body must leave. And what are the 5 elements are? Here can wasem. Somebody may be asking the elements that we're talking about. Now I want you to look on the screen very carefully. The 5 elements na here can wasem no enuniye. Onipa biya no. There are 5 things. Actually, if we are seeing down, the entire universe was created out of 8 fundamental elements. The entire universe na wono onyankopon bo ni wiase no 8 fundamental elements and onyankopon edibo wiase no. And no nyame topic of discussion. If you're interested in the 8 fundamental elements, ube to me at the two comment will say, okay, me pese me who all the fundamental elements are onyankopon edibo wiase no. Send ye beya mesia adie efrim. And then as many that will suggest said they are interested no, I'll bring that lesson. But tonight in the 5 elements out of the 8 and then yankopon die onipa. It's amazing Adentina onipa biya no, you have 5 senses. It's amazing. Every finger biya no awo no, every hand biya awo no, ewo 5 fingers, or left ewo 5 fingers, or right ewo 5 fingers, or 9 ewo 5 fingers, benkumni ni 5 fingers, 5. Everybody you are made up of 5 fundamental elements. Out of the 8 fundamental elements, Onyankopon edi we say, uwo 5. Now let's name them. Earth, asase, earth, part of the elements that makes you. It is a Obeka Bible now beti a Bible no say, Onyankopon eteche a form dotie. Earth is in you. It's body way. Bible naka. Dotia ebeko dotiem ensono ebeko ensum. Som ne de enyame dia okra ne ba kugina temum. 85 elements na Nyankopon de nipa no. One of them is earth. Another de nipa eye air emframa. Onipa bi emframa wo mu. So oxygen must be circulated to all parts of the body. May baby chirim ababem in a short while. And then there is something we call fire. Fire no enona emma onipa biya no unya body temperature on say or still be a day ewo mu ya check out temperature so ya 37 degrees Celsius ya so body nado o heat no ekosoro ya onyankopon e di ejabi ehye mu. So you are also made up of fire. And then you are made up of water. And then you are made up of ether. Sa ether way. And no ena etumi produce buoyancy. Sa make up buoyancy ewo potoka semua. When we say onipa biya o weight. So ko jina scale so a. Ubetumi we be say biya 56 kilogram. And also ubetumi we be say 60 kg. But only namas you don't see yourself carrying that load. So you're very light. It is not easy to lift a bag of cement and walk simply the way you walk. But some of you are heavier than cement. It is the force of gravity. Our body weight in utumi carrying about so lightly. Now utumi etumrika wabra. Even though we are 78 kilogram, even though we are 56 kilogram, under normal circumstances, no, you cannot run with that energy or that weight. Okay, but a dear ben a boa mouth to me, a balance that will now ye light and no and a ye eat no. It is a eat no, it to me a boa emma obey ye light, even though you are heavy, so that you don't carry your heavy weights around. Eti obia nemu eye bubia no say nipa ni tumi nante, although say yakofa that same weight ebia say owe 80 kilogram ni yakofa adia eye 80 kilogram man say oyusom na mfa nante a ontumi mfa nante, but ono anybody na eye 80 kilogram no otumi di nante easily eye exercise ye niema eye eat ana ewo mu no eno ne boa wo me ba bebiem obia ne nadwuma oye. Enti what happens ne say yeba be disconnect sa cervical cord we say pe tien komo ne ye be disconnect say pe or sa woman ya e connect uso ene wo body no ye nya be disconnect say pe say all the 5 elements na ewo mu no eye the air efiri umuko, fire efiri umuko, ether efiri umuko, there is a process your body goes through, and sana okrana dia tumu say ampeniampa wawu eti onipa bia wu say pe until say the first 13 days ebe passing, and I said the first 40 days ebe passing no nipa no wawu die but ni so ne da so wa ha eti me no kasai media and semni biwa ayaminka. But Vivian, the soul is still here. There are several times our befie or corny body no ever more chill. Baby, I'm here, Vivian so to me ba. But there's someone much coming wesiano. Some of you moon near nintino. During the time of this period, no, the soul is still around. Adentia, because there is one more thing a dawa enyem free asasi so enkoye enframa na free body nim eja na free eat na free ensuo na free but earth no honam ne da so da ho eti so no feel say it still can possess its material body, and that is why it is dangerous say obi bewu now be keep on the body no for so long. It's in common many obedi no me pato to obu asine tie me yie because ensam na me ba bebu boso no ebi o a ebi a wunim but on sedante ni ntire mu ase me be tirem ama wate ase it is all ne me namo a me pato hwe wo so yi e se baby a metu mika adwane no wo begina ho it is all se me adwane bi. So me da the be dia me patren say dia me kachire no tie because we need the ability to see what goes on in the realms of the spirit outside the earth peripheral no we need the ability to see you must count on somebody or what the ability to survive in this lifetime na nipa ne nkyerɛkyerɛ na ɔmo na niema esese wuhunu no ɔma wuhunu sɛ ne be ya ewiase wonnam mu basabasa saa. To be very honest with you, and Kenya dia metre if not in yesino, mem pese hadi we betu mi bio, and a Maria so say any na assembly will be a samekatere moa. There is no one can metre. Eti ebusia fo, mumayetu ye boas in the di. Eti medical can say yenya disconnected this particular cervical cord and extra cord noa. As I say, all the 5 elements, baby a be free by biano, a sign the chi echo. Atabokia say 8 elements, willing to know how God used them in creation. Vera Mankwansu say, Papa, please, I'm interested in that lesson. Edu Grace will say, okay, we need the 8 elements lesson. That's very fine. Now, the ebeboa ye nyina ne say once you come to the lesson bomodia say obehye na unua nso ababetie adesua no na boa amono nso wasua de na saasi so onam no wahwe ne husu yie esan say wiase no ena hokwa onyankopon no obo ni wiase no so fro bi say omeye na dwuma oboam nipa no maneti wiase no boy na se eji obi a onim haban onim fom onim se ne sunsum nsamotie no Seni pano oye dangerous. Ese usia seni pana obra nwase na usia eniema edifiri ho. Thank you. I've taken note of your request, and so I'll do a separate lesson on that. The 8 fundamental elements are unyankopon ediye wiase and how they affect us. Eti sa niema we emframa, the air, the fire, the water, the earth, the ether. These are the 5 elements that make up every human being. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have no make we huntasem. Sa elements we na ewu muno. Eno na e keep you alive. Me pesa wo say ade we so. Elements we ewu muno. Eno na e keep you alive. Sa elements we eno na ma wutumi ye nipa out the numbers as so. Enti se obi yusu any of these elements against you that brings about act of woe, premature death. It is either air has been used against you, fire has been used against you, earth has been used against you, water has been used against you, and I say ether has been used against you. Now, there are some people who die prematurely in fire. When that same fire is used against you, it will consume you. So when you see people die in horrible fire, it is not just happening. Something actually has happened. BBS metaphysically. Okay? And that is why most often than not, I told you, say, a banner of war, they will be hidden from no matter how psychic you are. Because these elements must help you survive. It's when these elements are used against you. Say this unless say you know exactly what to do. Say the ether ether no, it is up there in the sky and not relatively your friend agrada. There are forces in the solar system, lightnings, irem, and agrada, they all form part of the ether. So who more make a channel? It is the agrada board they are using the element in you against you. You will die. A premature death. Yeah, the assassin board who knows what is going to happen to you? It is air, fire, water, earth, ether. Adia ensese we be da, and adia ensese ume be tu da. Asasi suni say, obi ede asasi eisio emframa eja agrada ayirem ebeboduya. Se nipa ne de sane or the woman sa elements here. These are part of the 8 fundamental elements. Onyankopon edi wiase. Now guess what? I told the billion Yankopon per se odiso nipa otimi toja suffering not the best nipa using fire against you. I told the billion Yankopon per se or say nipa otimi di insio no abrem or di insio be day ebe say nipa otimi di emframa ehum a no ordain ebe bo nipa ekum nipa. Said the American what they say otimi di asase earthquake. No abusu asase no it is our elements we are Nyankopon so de den edikum nipa and all this say nipa so yes what this here radia. I'm telling you the same elements now amount survival no the same element ebekum and nobody can do anything about it. It is like say we are sina wom obeye nipa papa but modern say asase out so no obeye nipa papa no obotene ni abrabo enye den ya bone ba ko mienu be beba ho but as much as possible no pursue peace, pursue goodness, and pursue kindness. It may save you from so many troubles you cannot even fathom. As I'm not making a second, what did they make? And I say, it is saying, yeah, but disconnected the cervical cord. Yeah, as I said, all 5 elements, I feel the soul has been separated from the body. As I said, 5 elements, a free, if you see we now adjoining the totality of the 8 fundamental elements. 8 elements in the Yankopon di bo wiase. 8 elements no di bo wiase no. Say you say what would ya? As I say so no who say all the 5 akwa join it back to the 8 fundamental elements. So it is the totality of the universe. As akwa join it. And no answer na soul no begia to me say ampemiampa afei de one atiasefo eni kaka wewu enti saa na any of the elements no ewo asase su ha so no onko baabia patu tirimu so no onya dan onko baabia until each one of them, all the 5, the air, the water, the ether, the fire, and the earth, nina are joining back to the totality of the universe. Assassin no beko assassinating back. Ether no ebeko back to up the skies. Fire no ebeko back to the solar system. And the water will go back to where it is. Bibia be free mu enframa so ebe joining the totality of enframa ewu wiase. And then the soul will accept say wewu. And that is why in the process of the disconnection, as a sort here say, you don't just die. The disconnection comes, and as soon as you are disconnected, as soon as the astral cord, the cervical cord is cut, sa woman who are connected okra, any your friends say ni pediano, say nya timu say pe, all the 9 gates of your body, all the 9 holes of your body will be filled with mucus, or what they call, my friends say mucus or say mucus. More money mucus and unye where the among fanchami, ebia no be didi, ebia no be ya be fachame. Graphic name de babe to a ye mucus no. Be person what the mucus is. I had to say, a mama bisa. This is the mucus I'm talking about. The moment a messengers of death no, ebe catch the cervical cord and answer the astral cord no. Then all the holes, the 9 holes, we also call them the 9 gates of the body. And that's why the body is called the city of 9 gates. Unimoa. The city of 9 gates, Unipebia, every human body, 9, a quine mako, ntokro mako, 9. And a wall. The moment you be disconnected, we know. Na automatically mucus afili baby ya. Se mucus no way no afili wunim wasum wanim sabe otokwan o genital sabe oba oye bema obema oye oba wase wonya disconnect say pe ya o block all the 9 holes. You begin to suffocate. Yenya disconnect say pe automatic na mucus as say all the 9 holes. As I say all the 9 holes say pe after you are going to suffocate. And no man who say nipa no owoso na fe wawoso wi owoso wi na say from there no the elements eba be free limu one by one. It is a who say obi be na or suffocate ya. Let us say you disconnecting the astral cord. You now disconnect say all the hosts and from maybe go inside BBM free muma. It's in the best suffocating. Nam pano or so giri sa. Besisa will say afedi na acho. Adindia. There is air within. You are blocking all the hosts. Now let me take you through the hosts. So first and foremost, we are going to start with the eyes. So onipabia, you have 2 eyes. Enunye. Eye kwan mienu eti ye babele say the 9 holes no owo 2 eyes. The 9 gates to your body no inside your system no owo 2 eyes. 2 eyes no enunye. We ye no free wa owo 2 ears. Owo asonso mienu. Asono nso o de sa mucus no ebesi no ye nya twa disconnecte okra ni free body ni mu a asono nso emu besi afei ohune no nso emu besi eti ube hu say Monica mene Monica tamu wa Vivian free mu no oda fresh mene Monica na kwai hu say mucus nya ni hunimu ni na sumu nyina esisi nti normally what they do ni say omo de asawa esise wasum ene hunim ene sabe otokwan ene baby a ntokuru no de cotton esese ehonum nyina afei so otokwan eye yo enos nso ehon so omoba imukos no eba besili afei wanum nso ebeye homa afei there is nothing no inflow bibi ntumi free wanum nko bibi ntumi ma afei so no oye oba no nso eno nso mucus ebe fele ho aye ho ma oye bema obema no nso mucus no nso ebe fele all the 9 holes ni nyina no ebusiafo de obe oni se ni nyina ebe ye sealed and then you will suffocate within a shaky until. So when you see somebody okay, they call it flames, very good, mucus or flames. That's how they call it. This is coming from Facebook. Or say, I've been looking to hear about this element that forms a man. Success, Mauko. All right, if you've been looking, yes, these are the elements that form Onipebia. 5 elements now form Onipebia, a mauchimi nanti, a mau ye ayesem, a chimimao, a kiki, a 229, a boat football, a home. 5 elements, you know. And no na a word screen is no. Eti me pato sending so efamami. Afe ye disconnected. Mucus ababi chichen to kuntukruno. You have suffocated. What shake? What vibrate? Afe unya vibrate ye say pe. Afe ena all of these elements no. Eba be free mu 111. And this is the process it goes through. Before doctors can declare you dead. As I say, omutumi hu se emframana ifri ewu mu no a stop it. Let me see if I can give a replica of the wind. Memfa we enye the wind. Okay, so that whitish adie fitana hu ni sano susunu se emframa. All right. As I said, doctors, before they can medically declare you dead, we don't actually diagnose somebody dead, but we declare the person dead because hunam family hunu se wewu, but soul na ohone die hunu se wewu. Okay, so death is not a diagnosis; it's a declaration you give to somebody. Eti niemo kani nyina no at that point no okra no oti so ni nko baby ya. Or body no just say we free or try so befa the body no but untumi mfa. Eti doctors ni who say emframano as stop here the last heartbeat no a mouth go into cardiac arrest no. Akumani jaibo say circulation of air etwetwa. Eti when the air ceases, automatically the brain dies. And when the brain dies, all your senses cease to function. Between 4 to 5 hours, omobe disconnection, no suffocation, no ebeba. 4 to 5 hours before your real death, no. Now omaba be disconnection. Omoye disconnection we are afei body no ebabe all the holes ebabe fill with mucus and our phlegms and our mamain ebisi into kruntukru ni nyina. Santo kruntukru ni nyina sisi we are afei you are coming to suffocate. Eti mostly no obi babe wo a won se na ne hu sisi. James and inframa no sisi na ne hu no esi ohome a ense da ye ai unye huni sa say pe or ti su say pe disconnection aka no. Mucus is developing. Tokru nyina besili obe suffocate. Afei the first thing emframa eba be free ni mu akọ. Emframa no se akoma no air pompe eye na djuma. All pumping blood no na or circulate oxygen to the brain to all parts of the body. Eti the moment na akoma no be jai no emframa no esizi. Emframa ni sizi na free mu kwa because the brain lacks oxygen no. The brain dies. So the first thing that dies in the body is your brain. And adrenal will say all the sense organs they cease to function. Remember, say anybody who has been declared dead medically and from an free, but the death process no because a one element per and every the echo. Emframano and echo. The next element is a free nimu. Just a minute. The next element is a free nipanumu echo. The fire. Emframani di kan free umuko. Then na ejano so aba be free umu. Where is my fire? Okay. Na fire ne wo mu no. Now, if you must be informed, a fire no ne maintain a mount nipeduano, ne say, you know, human beings, we are not aquatic animals, we are not cold-blooded animals, we are warm-blooded animals. It's what keeps you warm, the fire element in you, and no ne maintaining a body temperature, and no ne making sure say all the time uye nipa. It is a fire no nye free muse pe. You must note, say, when the air leaves you, it takes about 3 to 4 hours. And sana fire no so a day every umuko. It's one by one. The elements now it make your entire being no. Ninyina be free body in my day. Because the soul has been separated from the material body. And the moment fire no ebe free o system ni mu no. That is where touch the feet of the person. No abeye very cold. Touch the body of the person. Na fe nipa na no tiasia or yes no. Waba beye nyu. Obi busa question. Success ebusa say. So does this mean that there is ghost? Yes, to a large extent there is ghost. Or samai ewo ho. Na samai no ho no. Enchirichirimu kakra wo wa. Esese medeba. To a large extent, yes, there is ghost or samai ewo. Because at that point, you so now we free mono or your samai. Okay, was self we see we mu. Eti or not the other so or bemo near more kenyina or take. Even and somewhere air kosu wo mutrimu nyina no or tenise kasa adwindwia air kosu wo mutrim abusuafo atwa nwasia de mo ye nyina or take. But ono kasa momo de enya dia mobeti echi emframani free ni mukwa the next thing be free ni mu akono eye fire no ejano iso free ni muko sei pe afi obe se onipa no ananka ode onsaka no a na ohyew ewo ni mu ana oye ne nsem se ya o de opa asema make unimu a wa posansem sei ma friction no enye tek ube se onsem aye sesese awoba awoba na onipa eye ne sese na o de keka na fo. Yes, that is the fire in you. Ijano that element ifiri mu sepe afi nipa no aba be very cold, very very cold. Onye sesese biu onipa desenia some few minutes ago na oye okrati asefo no disconnection ba. The elements are living, and that is the death process. It doesn't happen at once. Ejano onipa no emframane free ni mokono. It takes 3 to 4 hours, sometimes 5 hours, depending on how the person's age, any vibrant life, etie. Obi o no ye very healthy, very lively pa. Sorry. It's between 3 to 4 hours, you go and touch the body again. The partner is very cold. The fire element is gone. And when the fire element is gone, the next element are eba be free ni penumwako. The ether. Yes. Ether no and say in fin. Look at it carefully. The NGA me say in fin no. Balance the air, the fire, the water, and your material body, which is the earth. Send your beya weight, and ubechumia carry yourself about. Ubechumi, even though we are 56 kilogram, ubechumia nanchi simply, we are 60 kilogram, ubechumia nanchi easy, and the force of gravity, echumi working on you. Echi eat and also, if free muko sepe, ube se nipanoa na otiasia. Ubechumi apijano no afi se nipa no a oda ho no ejane free ni mu a waye nyunyunyu no after best 10 hours eat and so be dey ebe free ni mu a dey akọ after best 10 hours it is 10 hours in your body need the doctor say we wu but the death process is not complete. All the elements must leave and so na death process no aye complete. Ebusia said the mekano migusu ameko nyina o question now the aba. Eat and if you musepe afi try to lift the body, you will not be able to lift the person. Then the more you do. And so a brand new panitias and you could have easily lifted the person. And so you must be put on a stretcher because weight, no more mortician and I say man will be to me a this weight and the more we must put you on the stretcher. Adegia eat and no. It also carries a particular scent and no nema 4 scent near them about say ampa afedi nipano in the process of death no kwa na oyede oko na mamenka muntase bi mfankyere mu sem framani free nipani mu na ejano efri nipa ni mu na itano emfri nipa ni mu a there is a chance onyankopon pa die eno de eyewrade nsem nipa bi antumi nye onyankopon pa empaibo bi nisio bi enkaye bi erade betumi a reverse sa process no. When say we have 3 stages of death. The first phase, asafuma ejidifo betumi abompaye, amaso no ababak. There will be a reconnection. Ewo pa. The second phase, nyame nkrofo, they can bring back life. The third phase in the aje rade. When the baby the first phase the time where ya sense messengers of death naba omaba no and asafuma betumi ehiem ye bompa ye osofo na kase owuo eboni paso mesi ho ye mompa ye ne nyini free owuo ni nsem ye be count o papa ye na mampa bono so survival echi ye ni papa afi emframane ko asofo nso ba be ye omodwuma Eti se umframane ko medically no, a doctor can declare you dead because umframane ye de eko. Because umframane konji osi wewu. But if you are fortunate to have a divine person close to you, you are fortunate to have ubia or ye metaphysically and also spiritually oriented. Na oye capable. Unya seni pano at the time one medical doctors declare death now. That person who is in the divine nature no, can also bring you back to life. And that is the second phase. Ejani free umuna beye koda. I'm sorry. Fire neko. It is already too late. You have entered the third phase. Because 10 hours after that, the eater is going to leave. 14 hours after that, na afei, ensio no nso a ewo umu no, eno nso eba be free umu ediako. Iti after about 14 hours, you're going to see say nipa no oba be bluti, or be honhono, or be sese, o bluti sanwa. Na afi what you say na ensio ni nyina eba besin. And as the water leaves your body, your stiffness and your dryness has begun. Ensio ni free body nim say pe afi ubehu se nipa no wa dry obekọ mo chiro no na wa ye bawe no da ho. Ensio woni mu nyina aba besin eko 14 hours and beyond. Ensio ni besa say e free umu kakra kusi say ni nyina e be free umu. E free umu a afi the last thing that must leave you earth. I asase no a in totality they make you out of the 8 fundamental elements now. When Yankopo yi emunum free asase no universe nim e de ye wo no sa asase ne nso eye body no a adry na da ho no say e free honum eko me pacha o me wo low battery e wo we so ma memfa charger no ense se ne be ya those I will face meet me a monitor. Just a minute. All right. Thank you for your patience. It's body net da hono. And only the last thing one. Say if free. If we are seeing na joining the totality of the universe. It's at that time no. All this time no. And from maneko okrane wo ho. Fire neko okrane wo ho. Eat anu efrim okrane wo ho. Insio nefrim okrane wo ho. Adinti no okrane wo ho. Because I cut the very last thing. Joining the totality of the universe. It is a said dotie no so echo joining dotie no. Na afi. And from manuko bibia ko ni hu se afi de nipa no wewu empeniampa. Ma mimi Facebook no so ha send be ya me I follow in case questions ebi eba me trim 2 hours eba maybe me Facebook when so hana but to me I follow mo amutie no radio so no mesremo say nieme ye ni nyina no ne kasamfoni no eye video no ewo Facebook and YouTube enti obetumi akọ asem no a ana ade no a mekire no obetumi akọ ewo Facebook ama asem no a oso wahu ne ekoso nyina. Okay, Echi sesi an yaba bedru baby a all the elements no a free body in 4 efrim aka 1 ene da ho 1 e da ho no eye the h dotie no nyankopon tete ya odenwene wo no dotie no na afedie e da ho echi under normal circumstances ne abusua eye ne say omokope mortuary na omde waye dan akwa akosim na ahanum na enkomo kakra ewo until say nipadua no be joining the totality of the entire universe no until that time no okra no onko baby if say ahanumutie nkomo ni the process of death no it only ends when the body has also joined the totality of the entire universe. Na until say nipadua ebe free asasi so ebe yira na joining the totality of the entire universe no dotie no be san eko dotiem until somebody no be dane dotie ti se ni ohunu fom no sama we ya okra no onko baby ya because during that period no okra no ewo gidie bi say ne body ni da so da ho ana edaso wo existence it by chance bi obetumi asa a repossess ne body no sadia no ma many of the departed souls no ebeye earth bound beka asasi we so it what you need to understand is say at the time no a nipa no wagu na so no every musei no patotie nkomo ni yepa at the time na so no every nipadua no musei no enframa beko fire beko eater beko water beko esese body ni nso ye den earth no nso ye den eko ejisa obetwa bible no kasa no osi dotie ebesan akodotie mu enson ebesan eden akọ ensun adenji no yusu dotie ene enson dotie no ejira ho ma burial enson ni jira ho ma cremation se o shi body no nadane ashes. Now between the two the best spiritual practice a cremation. So we see body no a better for the soul than say obe bury body no. Because when you bury the body, so the emuno eko she formoa still so no eko baby a emunu wo. Enji so ko cemetery one more omo enino. Omo third eye no. You will see a lot of souls omusu they are shedding tears. Around they are hovering around the cemetery. Adentia body need a ho. And if you care to know, it takes up to 60 years or more, depending on the climate condition of the country. And sana body no adane dotie. It takes about 20 years. And sana honam no ababeye dotie no enyankopon chichi no. Then it takes about extra 30 years and sana nompe no. Uskaus, unompe, ni nyina nso ababedane dotie. And all this time, if there was a departed soul, one more papa, I'm telling you, say that soul would be earthbound. It is a year say nipa ne wu, o maame o wu ye no o don o penasem. Eti o pe say o ise na nyonyam. You are punishing that mother you so called you claim to love. You are punishing sawo maame no. Odofo na wawuna eya oyana ode opesa o mani semwa abusumi nsia emfie baako no. You are rather punishing the pano because the soul will be tormented or be restless. And there are mysteries involved in this matter. Now, as soon as the soul departs from the body, the soul in himself or the soul of material and our body extensions, adia emano edoniku eyeni nipadua. Adia emane doni ma eyeni nipadua. Adia emane doni sika eyeni nipadua. Adia emano enya extensions in this world eyeni nipadua no. as long as a nipadua that's was as isua yen cremate yeno be rest assured say the soul is going nowhere. The soul continues to visit the family. It continues to visit friends. It continues to go to places of interest. Baby anana kuma wo baby anani do ni kunu ne ma ni sika na sase ne japade baby anani ma wo nyina adentia because odasu wo hope be say body no obesan kwakofa. At that point the soul is confused. At that point the soul doesn't know what is happening to it. Or person repossessing the body now to me repossess it. It is the best way I will be to me aboa every departed soul. And he say, "Owu yenwa entempano na mochimie discard the body no." And the best way to do is spiritually. If you don't want any wahala, is to cremate the body. And it's a obesity body no. If we are talking about cremation, this is what I'm talking about. You must cremate the body. You must burn the entire body. We have so many crematoriums around. You must subject the body to thorough burning by fire. Now, and none ashes. With this, the soul knows that the game is up. There is nowhere why you disconnected from the living earth. There is nowhere obey to me. I repossess the body libyu. There is no chance of going there. But if you go and bury the person, once the body is in the casket, I'm telling you, say the soul will still go there. I okrano obesa ko oba kushem obefele bra mawie na mosesa dotie de gunu so dotie ebeko dotiem na mosa dotie ne gunu so nyano sabri nyana so no so ese adaka nimbi ofili dotie na modi gunu so no mo wie na mo kata no so wie kwa na mo nantia kwa ohu se mo ne di mpapa mu ebeka ono nko a ewa adaka nim enti wawudie but onwui but the American say what you say nipa no honam fam de wawudie but the soul is still alive. Adentia, when somebody dies there is an astral tunnel. Once I told you say a astral cord and that's a cervical cord. It once there is a disconnection nipa na wawuno the departed soul no over 13 days, and within these 13 days are very crucial for the family. Very, very crucial because a state of confusion for the soul. Or kind of way from no, just say, Nenisuya to Ohuniatono on Tediatona say it is the first time experience as our soul inside the Eka. It is the best way to go about it is Owuya discard the body. When you discard the body, now the soul knows say, or you're disconnected from a reality way. Enti 13 days no astral tunnel no ayabi no so free asasi we ewiase we mu o free mu ya den ekọ the earth peripheral no so free mu ya den ekọ sama manam mamwa departed soul no na we free man nkọ na ekoye atofu a most of the departed soul no become vengeful. See the mechano they become very vengeful because within 13 days you know say a mysterious death had the kudi ekunu no behu say a busiani bi ne kuna obehu and sama owu ye muka ye nyina ote de na ekoso o madwi mu nyina ote. It is some of the souls become very vengeful, very hateful, very bitter, and they can cause a lot of havoc. And when somebody dies and because the moment the nipan be hateful, vengeful, the departed so mamwano amanem free a wiasi wem ankono. All of you, mu somebody po. It is a one thing maybe a seer. Wait until somebody that has experience or has revelations and has astral projections about this. Because there's nothing about them which is in fact, if you want to understand why Onyanko Pombo Asofo Koko say don't go closer to dead bodies, there are so many spiritual reasons. God created his world. On the body we are seeing or see Adiana say Adiana don't go there. Eti owo no a esia mo feel say oh okay body ni betumi ada ho we betumi aye we betumi awe na mo the body na to ho no 13 days are very crucial. Eti from the day nipa ni wuye begin to count. It is on the data you have fixed the ama Vivian ni wonu owu 15th of July exactly 13 days a year 28th of July or be cut down. We cannot allow the body to remain. If you are in a church and your pastor or your leader and you're metaphysically sound or you're spiritually sound or you're physically sound, leader, no, I'm sorry, a lot of things will go wrong. A lot of things will go wrong. And you may be on to me handle it, they will be way above his authority or above his powers that God has granted him. Because on Yanko to me so that you feel like a god. No, he won't do that. But you must have a capable leader. As I say, onim the left and right, or till life issues are say. You must have somebody who will lead you, direct you, teach you the right way, fill your mind with information. Ladies and gentlemen, the first 13 days are very crucial. Obia wakan sembone dia fa Vivian ubia wate. Their adengine thoughts are in that realm. No, the soul is able to hear it as enkomo kasa. Your thoughts, ote. They are not limited. They are not bound by time. They don't have any limitation. It is no so any limitation. And if you begin to experience strange happenings, I don't know be what of war. Otumi ya se obe possess another, material body. Yes, so most of those people, they are people who discover the causes of their death and they realize that they didn't die natural death. They become vengeful. It's a very important. I'm telling you, say, they are doing it right. It's wunya de to swapa, no ma de wakosimu. Wunya de to swapa. And the best thing is say, obema body no. Adaka no hu. Menya ntie na no amesuma mrante ne say omonkope adaka ne binto no. E no ma meti asese sa adaka no krampo ye wo metallic, ye wo metal adaka ewo. Hwe enye sa mistake we bi da. Dua de betumi apro within the time frame. Okay, but yes, some mistake will be that. So also, oh papa no yesikani. It will person send a new yam to go to adaka. Yeah, that dear, na me can say me. That it take a lot of time. It won't take 60 years for the body to completely decompose and become earth. What's happened than it will take over 100 years. And during that period, you will see the dead people in your dreams. Woe betides you if you follow these departed souls. Your death is imminent. Woe betides you. Obia wo departed soul. Na waba odayem. Na onene sri dim komona wo ba be free. You are joking. You need to understand spiritual matters because they are too complicated to be understood in this physical world. But 13 days are very crucial. A manim paho a bibre mahadie modie adia moniji hu yefun. So as much as possible you want to honor the dead. And then a Bible no kan Jeremiah 22:10 or say mamunsu for dead body mamunsu no ni okono na monye dey munsu no nia okono. And so the reality of the matter is that many of the souls never live and they become earth bound. They become earthbound because when you die, this material world, this physical world cannot contain your soul again. If we are seeing you woman, ain't mean continue with soul nibiu. Okay, it is ain't to mean continue with soul nibia. You must enter the realm. Okay, that realm, that astral realm outside the earth peripheral, the astral tunnel, it's unipebia wua. We offer some prayers. Prayers na ye offer no. The prayer does not change the deeds of the person. And sisa ni paneni and the papa ni boni oyeye. And sisa nemo yesre boni fache di mat the soul. Se ubi eye ni bonia ni pani sre boni fache. Se yenso or ye boni a yenso ye de ne boni cheno. Sa adie no ayeye no, it doesn't change anything about the deeds na braba obebo ye, but a guide so no manu locate the astral tunnel no we free we are still near den echo. That is when the body has been cremated or has been discarded. So body need a so the mochi wa forget it onko. Tie asemna meka no body need a so the mochi wa forget it onko. A grace of more how bebrebe spiritism sininiama echeche mabrabo no. You got no idea, especially say yatofu ajawado. Adentina atofu ye mabodi na honje musio wu adentina ye mabodi na na ye nananum nimu niema bi omuti sumsum niema bi ase eti obi wu otofu wa obuwa kwansie wu ehwa danwa ne esie no eso ne avedi de koto mochiri ye de koto police mochiri ye de ni koyesei ye ntwen ma ne ba no wa brochire ne mra ye ntwen na ne nanamra ye ntwen na ne wo famra sa na bodi ni da ho atofu edaho mu 13 days eti ebusia no ye ne wo musia ye no wo mo ye senka Tuesday na etwam na ye pae no no ano ye si oni akoda no but ebefum yemu we are not prepared for that kind of burial adaka ebeto ambulance we ni nyina yisikasem eti necessary ye ma extension of time and knowing very well say the extension of time, no, it must not go beyond 13 days. Because after 13, on the 14th day, the astral tunnel is closed. Yes, if you don't know, the astral tunnel is closed. So, no soon him said the body in the so ain't much rona a queer body in the hono or coho, udia konya back and forth. Baby or die or the free or the wee cry, hospital or coho, nurse nibi. Any ni ya obesity wom ye wo fie obesity ne maame obesity onante sa because the body no onim said that so that ho enti as confused as the soul of the departed person is send the panel we are not doing any help ye money panel anyway we are rather punishing the soul. If you love your father, you love your loved one. Nipa no se wo donwa owu ya anka abruswa 7 hours. Eti na me say when we meet Wednesday as a penifone bar, we're going to hold a meeting so that it is possible to agree and make a decision for cremation. Unye wu ya within 6 to 7 hours you'll be burnt and the ashes will be given to your family. And then we can go and pour it into water, we wash away, or whatever we want to do with, blow it in the air, vanish, and the soul will depart within the 13 days. Soul will be free as in swako. Samanya ne sa na mukusie no, eti asiedie bebrebe no, beria bebrebe no, edo how bebre aba. Eti Bible no kan mienu. Or say dotie beko dotim, anase enso ebeko enso. That means it can be cremated. And now say it can be buried. Burying the corpse, there is no an onion from Sobia, but I'm telling you the realities are easy. The soul is still hanging around. It is a when ya Sobia or born a bra a pleasing young copon. Na so no wa ma papa ye nim. Na so no am prese wa bre ewo ewiase wem. Eti obeko akwa akogina homia. Any Sobia na oye very much attached to the body. Or ye attach to ne honam dress in the sika ne maame ne papa ne bibiano as I say so no or hanging around on ko babia because or ye still interested or you hope we say obesam basa enkwana yimu mame ma episode mame fa ade we enchirichiri mu say why mumu why na otia okọ wako secondary school even cry your first day at school se baby a ko school emuwa na o mama ne o papa o no na chinefia you are attached to them okay you love them you care so much about them so mu ko ja wo school mu na o mu ja wo ho e de wako efia won se na wenesi atatai na udi awro na owra ho because woni wo mo ntem ye den eti omu jaw ho every school mu ho omo de wako see secondary school mu ho even secondary school kran me no sa de me feel what they say so no mama no papa ni unua no mo a atene fia na time aso so obekọ secondary school na ye de wako akosi honom na o show manim na omu jaw wako na wani agina adentia areho ne kan ye enso sa otene school mu wa na wani eba be kan sei pe ube on se afei no on kai efi ofuo biu eti se ebre so se makwan na wo se free school makofia na wani sa ba bejai o colleagues o classmate because oni o matena ma wani aden wani aka. This is exactly what happens when the person dies. You must go and discard the body. You must separate the person from this material life. And my body ne hanging around on this earth peripheral and manin na ho. Because the more that one, or you're still attached to the husband, or you're still attached to the children, or you're still attached to the mommy, or you're still attached to the people that she loved until the body is discarded. Echi modina kwa kwa chef from na mo sisa dotiegu nusuno. Afei so no realizes say indeed on your part of you. Okay, that is a consolation. But the reality of metaphysical, knowledge doesn't suggest say or be free one. Say yes, my permanent free in nipem. But baby, you didn't body na kwa kotono obekwa kushim all the quiet, silent, dark, gloomy situation na odaho. So the best practice is to cremate, and it's a obeshi body no. Obeshi no adani ashes, and no there is no attachment or whatsoever. Then what's body need ya automatically within 13 days, after time obi, because every connection and attachment, you're here free so, and one say ofem no ko, and then 14th day it is closed. Se one muscle now ko within the 13 days no. Na ye tum say pe. Obey tormented. Obey nante up and down. Obeko fi. Obeko cemetery ho. Obeko mortuary ho. Obey sanim. Obey nante. Amount for nya money. Ebe assuming an identity. Tie. Mehusamai no. Departed souls no more around. The evil spirits will assume their personalities. No more de ba also. Omo de ba wo fi. Ubetumi akusia no baby. Ubetumi asia no them. Evil forces will assume because you did not help the soul to depart. It you wonder who the process in the nka SSA is you. But because you are delaying with the body, the death process is never complete. If you want to know when the death process is complete, it is complete when the body is discarded or cremated. That is when the death process is complete. Otherwise, the soul is right here with you. And evil forces are going to, assume that body. Omo be azumi sa nipeduano sa subtle body no you can only imagine what will happen to you if you are wearing their clothes, if you are using something that were so attached to it. You can only imagine, especially when it is your friend is saying accidental death or now premature death. You can only imagine. After 13 days, body need our uncle. And Ekuya wewu Vivian oko eyemeya. But se me do Vivian, I will help her to leave this earth. Se ni kunu edona obebwana maniso ne free hanom. No akwa akogina home. Said the American what you see. If so buy no, me madansia me wodie. Wa ma meye boni bia ntia me nene channel asasi so no Vivian ati the American wa anye mini Vivian wasem ba kokura mpo. Said the American what you see. Na sword ni oye no enya sword ni edi nipa so no eko say eya sword ni a edi nipa no ne nkwa na we free nim. It has nothing to do with salvation. Said the American what you see. It is she can secure her salvation, but she is dead prematurely. Okay. Said the American what you see. It is a ye Vivian asem na ye dono na rewa ye di nyina no ye peniya exactly 13 days no. As I say, you discard the body, no. A free mortuary, free baby okose assassin say back into the edge or you disconnected from us. And so after 13 days man cremate body no na man discard the body ni dia ye tum say pe wabeye edge bound I just say 40 days and sana ya say be astratan no for the next 24 hours. You can imagine 40 days, that is roughly 1 month 10 days. 1 month 10 days and a year 40 days. And so how many of you kept your dead bodies in the mortuary for 3 months, for 6 months, for 8 months, for 1 year? Mo de yeden se mo be twitwe funu na wiu se mo be di nam no se mo de be yen krakra kwan yu se mo de be de mentem wase ebibifo de ye jimi na ni nyina e out of ignorance. Ni nyina e out of ignorance. Echi se 13 days ne so na when free asasi so ankwa the astral tunnel is closed. And then the soul will have to wait for the next opening, which is the 40th day after the day of the person's death. It is done and nipani we no done yesase county and nano. Okay, it is 40th day no so ye be astral tunnel no na wenrem ankwa because body need so the mortuary wabeye permanently edge bound. Unim permanently edge bound. E come de no. And so onye duane ni sukom de no enso onye nsuo no obre otebre but onya body bia enkodem na watumi arrest ti se ne wo koye adwuma ba na wo rest no the enchi a utumi rest ma wo ye refresh ne say you still have this body eti wo kobre na ba utumi koda agi wa home refresh yourself na wa continue say mamwa so no ama na nko someone see body no and see within the time frame no na 40 days ni so panwa waba be a restless soul or take come and so only material body no wakodi dia men amane ho atono or tisu come and so only body na wakonum sio amane ho atono or tibre but only body no wakoda amane ho every activity bia ye na asase bia no ono so te ono a onye doteboa ono so a onye spiritual we free hako and why samantwen. Do you know what happens? Those souls, tormented souls no and they back into ebusuano as serial killers mintim ebusia bia mintim sa demon no a obeso omne no akata wano no mia no kun a opese woka Jesus kwa bontumi no sa souls no a one more after 40 days. Mam mama modi o mamu ni to mo chi se mo de beye enkatenkwan awe no sa departed souls no and the beye tormented souls e beye dangerous souls because the evil forces they capture these souls, they begin to work on them and they send them back into your family to come and destroy you. You have no idea what you're dealing with. You won't seek for knowledge. You won't search. You won't ask questions. You won't ask intelligent questions. And yet, it's a 4. Until this cremation or burial is complete, the body is going nowhere. Obeye earth bound there. All the torment in any brain or the baby back into the family to destroy. Because no matter how good and kind the soul was during the earth-bound period, or you're restless, it's obey dangerous and a weapon in the hands of the enemy. And demons get hold of these departed souls. Now back to the family to destroy your very happiness and your spiritual peace. Now, it is a choice you need to make. Are you still going to keep the dead body there? Or are you simply going to cremate? The best practice, metaphysically, sunsu misiepiniya, yenshi body no, yenfa ensono, enkugunsium, bibia etuecha. And then after that, na yehunu say, we are no more dealing with a soul, but we are dealing with ourselves. And if you leave the soul like this. Say omen nanti assassin so sa ebusuafo asempa ena ode abefi na sa asem na ode abefi no untumi handle because software medical culture say nipadua no ye hardware and software ekase edin semonia there is no way you can stop it. Echi ubia enhyene so emfa emame echi obi wo ho a obeka se o na yesie ni wie kurampo no me so da ya me hunu wo me dayem ai ube hunu wo dayem because oye earth bound afi kurampo no ubetumi akwamusiye na wahu so many souls na omusu eyenkofo a omabusuafo omo se omo dowo mo no womo adi omo bone omo amoa akra no amomo mfiri asasi so anko enti so a were lifted from the material body no obi hu say odaso ne na masasi so and you keep seeing them in your dreams eti se nyankopon ayewadom ama wate asem no America na se dia enna abusuafo ade a esese yehunu ni say death, the processes of death, it ends when all the 5 elements have joined the totality of the universe. And from any woman adjoining from an fire, any woman adjoining fire, no. It and also echo. Okay, is you no so adjoining you, body need a hoye day. And co joining et no. I'm sorry. Death is not complete because soul will never understand say when it does will be say obetumi san regain ni material body and on the mouth do ni a man do ubia a man ye bibia as long as the body is still there it will try to repossess, although it cannot repossess it because there's already a disconnection, but it becomes a tormented soul. Let me add a little bit to it. Sekobani say ura astrata nim ya cremation no watene ho ase prayers esese ye offer empaibo esese ye ni nyina yetumi aye ediyama okra no within 13 days ura astrata nim. Once the person gets out of this earth peripheral or ye embrace with heavy light ahoye enhankwa. You know the first event that happens, all the departed ancestors from the family, omu besiano within 15 minutes, bemano akwaba. Bia besiano man akwaba. After say we free, we are we era the subtle realm nimuno. The realm, one of the heavens, where remuno, all the departed souls, man akwaba, it is full of light. Within 15 minutes, they all welcome. After 15 minutes, that episode is over. Then you are brought before the karmic board. A honum ne friend judgment. Na a honum komono mean to us because it will be a very lengthy conversation. A say the death processes no ewi it is so net to me akwa kudru baby a atimu beden ebekoso ebi obi bebu sase na se papa waka said that onipa be wuno ne poni to atwa ne papa to atwa eti dano a wakwa kugina atemum na sisi a woka say all this process no yes se meka say nipa ne papa to atwa ne boni to atwa na ne judgment e yesi that the me partner say ontumi mfa bi nka ne didi ho ontumi nyi bi mfrim ne judgment is sealed, but this is the process the soul goes through. And sana wakujina the karmic board, the judgment of Nipano, and that is another area of study. When I'm done with atofu no minimum ebe discussing. For now, my member fa mo submissions no more questions no. Na minyia no na afei yemfa enko. Is there anybody who would like to make a phone call? Obi pese ofre sim obi timi o pese ofre on WhatsApp Opese ofre on WhatsApp. Number ben number ben. Okay, if anybody wants to call in, just give me thumbs up. Now me make a provision for a phone call. Otherwise, I'm going to read your questions from Ahanum. Na meyi ano mamenko esoro mamenko soro na menko shasie enfri ehonum mamenko soro na menshasie Kayedi said nursing is a dangerous work indeed. Of course. Atapuko say, God have mercy on us. Onoa say, rooted teachings. Hey, yes. Mame Edugre say, wow, very powerful message. Atapuko ya okay. Omo Alecheme said they are interested in the 8 fundamental elements. Additional. Mame Edugre said, very serious. Muslims are right. Yes, to a large extent, they are the best, as compared to Christians who love dead bodies and will die as well. Atapuko say, hey, dead, but not dead in the grave. Yes, exactly. Believe it or not, this is the reality of the metaphysical world or the subtle realm. Radimi na ihuni ekoso ewo sunsumu. Eto de bi na me the direction bi ba obi nim ni ntia direction eba. Most of the directions no, this material world no ewo niema bi wo a ewom a etumi ye niema bi. Eti se me the direction beto ho a me pato no ebu mi kakra no eti ma no asem na wa bomodin aye ebeboa ho. Ishiraba Sami music say dead. Okay, Atapuko say, God bless you for the in-depth knowledge you embody, Pastor Ben. Amen. And Ishiraba say, really? Yes, like really, like seriously. Linda texting says, what happens when someone died and you keep his picture, please? This is a very interesting question, and I would like to address it briefly. The habit of keeping dead people's pictures. I told them, you go to the house, now they are on the walls. The question I ask is, did you cremate the body? If you cremated the body, if the body went under cremation, no wahala. But as long as the pictures are there, and you fail to bury the person within the time frame that must be done, the appearance in the house is very, very common. Well, say if you be wohona ubi wufri mu a enipa ntumi ntirem onte ne mpani nsem da edaso wo bisine untumi ntirem masa. Some of the ways are ibinum fasu no, they are so terrible and painful, say they become so vengeful and bitter, and so you can't even dwell in their homes. That's the truth. I will not advise you to keep pictures of the dead person on your walls. Say, I won't advise you to do that. There is no bond between Unis and Nipano, Job kind, a Twitter, Odoni Twitter, Bibia Twitter, Dotier Echo Dotim, and Sonko. Discard anything and everything, burn it. That is why you need to burn the clothing. Nenyama Sinin Nara. Sino, cremation is the way to go. Segana for Mubetemia in most developed worlds, US, India, most developed worlds, they understand as someone making it. They won't waste time between 6 to 7 hours. Ombeyo mu praise no bibia, no mako cremate body no, omasino. Asesino, Ugana near the Frabru. Now the body, the soul has no business to stay here. It has no option. I feel obey clearly. The astral tunnel now will firm every year. Echo. So it's not advisable to keep the pictures around you. They may create very bad energies for you. You should do away with them. Aisha says, this is serious. No wonder. That is why I used to see my uncle who died many years ago in my dreams. This is great knowledge from you, Papa. God bless you. Amen. Bless you too. Serious power from Inshiraba. Inshallah say, wow, this world is very dangerous. It is very dangerous. Especially when you're different now, Nemudia, very dangerous for you. Mami Edugre say, lack of knowledge, my people perish and pa. Inshallah say, sure says, Inshallah, your mami and your sister, why? I Edugre your mami. Winim ninjina oka says no. I Edugre your mami. Rita for so if a soul is earthbound, how does heaven or hell come into play for that soul? This heaven and hell, Adisiano, Ewo Revelation 6:7. And Mame Rita, I'm going to do a very deep teaching on heaven and hell. You see, hell is a spiritual realm. Heaven is a spiritual realm. I am making summarized statements down. You can jot them down. Hell is a spiritual realm. Sansuna heaven is a spiritual realm. Both of them are subtle realms. So no anye papa. This discussion betwa cosmic after saying the panura astratan in muno. And a heaven and hell additional ebeba. And I'll be so deep say obetini maybe I say. Because reincarnation, people don't believe it. It is right there in your scriptures. Who is reborn? Life hereafter, no, it is saying, I will take time to explain what happens when the person leaves the earth. My name is Efun Koye intended for additional dia. Media Makati, but se wuti na wopese ofree simu dia, give me notification. Na me accept okono because me connect phone biama production no for now. Eti hell any heaven no. Say Bible na ka say obi wu a de oye papa no obeko hell. De oye boni no obe de oye papa no obeko heaven. De oye boni no obeko hell. It is very true. But a near maybe a process. Okay, a process. A near be see in the subtle realm and sana hell any heaven. Asemna bem. It is a hell ne heavy asemna bebemua. That is when the person, the departed soul, has entered through the astral tunnel. May the Bible be chirimua ma what yasiye. It is for now. Let me make these summarized statements down. Heaven, yeka heaven, a spiritual realm. Hell, also a spiritual realm. That is why the subtle soul and our body no a free so okra na free munu etumi ko either of the places. And before the soul will go to either of the places, no, it depending on the judgment. Which soul no I go through. Now, Rita says soul no be 8 pounder. How does judgment or hell and we come through? Now, this is what happens. Onipa bi a otina asase so hu onyankopon na osum yi na oye papa na koma anye attached to this material world na ebra otiase no or prepare for life eternity no, those souls they never become earthbound. Do you know what happens? The moment they die, they know say omo de omo bre aba na wiye. It is those people, they want to go in peace. They want to go and rest. It is they have no time wasting. Only say they will hang around until say mercy no, until say maye neyi baby amode ni body beto baby amode eti na me say yen atiasefo no ese say ye boa departed souls no, not the death process no ending. When does it end? It ends when the body has been discarded. Yeah, just for necessary boa. But you said the American what you see. It's Bible no can say so be wuni and see pa. Say nipa no ese upon bampo so on faso say no. Yet as phone you be seeing a see pa. Is saying discard the body. Make sure you get rid of the body. Let it not lie in any morgue. Okay, best practice cremate it. Janokwai onko. All right, but interestingly, one more bob rapani no. They don't have material attachment. Okay, because even when they were alive, but they are not attached to money, they are not attached to their girlfriends, they are not attached to their husband, even though they love them. Was prepared for life eternity. And those people, after 14, 13 days, go through the Tanumpa. 40 days, do you know what they do? They live in peace. No more body na mamo momfanye niamope because no oh baby papa or kwa home, and that is why those people live in peace. Eti Yesu basa asiso no wanye bonida uwu your sorry no or set a principle no say 40 days time ason so free material world way not enter the skies na oko baby you free by asum game. This is what happens to good people, righteous people, those that die in the Lord. Every earth-bound soul, take this from me, is a soul that did not receive salvation. And that is why demons, any evil forces, they use those souls, tormented souls, against humanity. Omo ne babe demons, was as so. One the big money, almost joining the dark world. No matter be some money. It's mame reta ubisaya. That is it. Into those earth-bound souls, said the last trumpet, es soundia. Na obadia ya we ewufua ewu radimu eko. Na your friend is saying, one more etias asiso they are raptured. Let me tell you, that is when they are going to face heaven. Or omo hell. There's no heaven for them actually. That's when they are going to face omo hell. It will be saya in Chirimua media no. I believe say when we begin to delve into what happens when the soul departs, okay, ufri asasi sukwa during that lesson episode obeche asiye eyi. Linda text says, is it true when somebody died, the ancestors give them chair to sit or no? There is no chair sitting because it is a 15-minute welcome. That is, if the person enters the astral tunnel after the 13 days, within the 13 days or the 40-day, 24-hour ultimatum. It is a 15-minute episode, just a very short moment, all right? And then they all vanish from the scene. And then there is going to be your spiritual guide who is taking you or bringing you before judgment. The cosmic board is like a screen. You see yourself from the day you were born. You will see everything. You will see. You see. And you will pass judgment on yourself. It is interesting when you have revelation of these mysteries. And I believe, say, when I get to that episode, Obeche, and some no asi eyi. Beba jaw me here mo questions na metumi eyi ano ede amamo. I me here mo questions na metumi eyi ano ede amamo. Echi mo amu Facebook mo betimi de mo questions aba. Afi YouTube nso mo betimi ede mo questions aba. Na me yi ano kama. Ansana ma so because time no ekoyi papa almost 3 hours time no koyi papa
adiachi mesi obi aremo na se bebiso ifenya kuponko alini
adiachi yo ampa adiachi yo enyina na ya dasorio ifenya kuponko alini adiacho mama ampa adiacho adiacho tinamidi ya mesi misumidachi
misumidachi ubia misumidachi
Mama yesu ya dachi wati. Mama yesu ya wiyo. Say baby ah. Mama yesu ya dachi wati. Mama yesu ya wiyo. Ampa diachi. Enyina na diachi ye. Na say baby party. Mama nyanku ponko alele.
Omodi ana like a transmission mami.
Enyina na diachi ye. Say baby. Mama nyanku ponko alele. Daddy unkwa na wuni mudia. Bede me woshe wuso. Mabura bonyina wonse. Mikwa yina nsu wonse. Daddy unkwa na wuni mudia. Bede me woshe wuso. Aye mabura bonyina wonse. Mikwa yina nsu wonse. Say baby party. One any mo say baby.
Wine any
Kwana wuni.
Obiansi
You go
through the process.
Mama yesu ya dachi wati. Yesu ya wiyo. Obia sora na pahima. Wakrasa okaba. Ye obesa bedufia semi.
So besa ba
Yanku ponko Obia sora na pahima hima. Wakrasa okaba. Obesa bedufia semi. Yanku ponko anenim. Eti pita kan sendi. Sister pita kan sendi. Wine chain kwa na yenko. Daddy wine chain kwa na yenko. Unawo wadan kwa sem. Say baby. So daddy ukwane wini. If you besi me senyo, I baby me senya some way. Wine anymore, wine anymore. Mama yanku kwane anymore. Inti debia masemuni, ana baby ya meduye. Miso sumeri. Mama yesu ya dachi wati. Kristo ni abodu ya he. Jaka yo aba. O Kristo ni abodu ye. Mama jadi abwe wati. Esu dachi suwari yo a. O Kristo ni a utumi ya ka he. Ampa. Jaka ye mama. Jadonko yinom na. Adaji masiha.
Okay, ensembisani bi aba. Mami Inyano Rachel Dede Tete. Live on Facebook. Eye minu abema odimechi ni hukeni. Ome free United States aba. Jio mahome kakra. Rachel akwaba. Osai Patrick ewo France onoso echi. Nanaya Odiodu is watching live from London. Nanaya eti saying mete wonka ache papa. I mete wonka ache one oyere. I believe say moho eye. My main questions are about YouTube no nafi. This is from Meyeri Penny, Mrs. Flores. Also, as I'll say, this is what real men of God are supposed to teach. Unfortunately, not many are real, and so they are unable to discuss subtle matters. As a matter of fact, you need to be devoted to the things of God. You need to actually sacrifice yourself and deny yourself a lot of pleasures to be able to reach the level of subtlety. And this idea, Didier Bibri, sex Bibri, and Nam Bibri, Titiru, and Nam Bibri, it numbs your sensitivity. Until revelations be over, you won't be able to simply understand. Okay, Yanko, Linda Texan is asking, why do you celebrate 1 year death so? I think, say, Mame Perpetua is also asking the same thing. Please, is it biblical to celebrate 1 year when someone dies? Me pacho is absolute nonsense. That 1 year no amade bese ono. When we say owu ono, ne niema bi na oja wachire no. On person mo twen after 1 year. Eno na mabusiafo no ekobo edwa no masiam say oh ya ba be kind of fees ya na. I mean, if you want to hold a memorial service for a departed soul, The question I ask myself is, your soul no departing is actually we're free. We are see we muko. It's a question you need to answer. Only wabushi apeni muni sa question na no. Okra na momo ko celebrating 1 year no. Listen to me. There is no biblical precedent for 1 year celebration. Okay? When a person dies, we have up to 40 days to finish every ritual, everything that must be done. We have up to 40 days. Yedina that we are, it is finished. So now person holding memorial service and our person kind of, that's fine. And just memory. But there is no relatively, mass existence in this earth peripheral. There be. It makes your soul has really departed. Because what you people call departed souls, many of them are still here. They are earthbound. They are not departed. And that is the reality. To attain a higher level of spirituality, you will understand as someone making. To attain a higher level of spirituality, you don't eat every day to get there. You don't drink every day to get there. And there's so much you need to know about Iwiasi, especially the earth, Mother Earth. To reach that spirituality. It's absolute nonsense to be doing this 1 year, No, it isn't biblical. There's no biblical precedence for that. We only have a biblical precedence for 40 days, and that's it. I've heard people say that someone some people who died, someone died and came back to life again. The subject of reincarnation or rebirth, it will be discussed in another episode. That's so no empeniapa say utumi free this earth. Okay, this earth. Say ebusuafo na ni na bro no to me free this earth. Imukwa. Not judgment, good and bad, a take place. We will discuss there, heaven and hell. Then we will discuss there, reincarnation, as to whether it is possible for somebody to come back to life. There are mysteries in this lifetime you must know. It's a Bible, no, we have you as your headlines, your snippets. Okay, you need somebody to disintegrate and break the subtle, revelation to you. Now wait to me at you say, INT'L, let's wait for that episode. It will come and you will fully understand yourself. The question says that what do you do when you see dead person in your dream? If you keep seeing that person in your dream, wahala for you. It is all shroud, gloomy, darky around you. There is nothing interesting about seeing somebody dead. Oh, me so Diana me mami friend to me fita na wishrame and all of that. Let me get there and explain to you. It will be in another episode. Obechi asiye eye. Linda texts and say, in my role, I have come across a patient and he said to me, he died in 1881 and he came back to life. He was able to describe his time 1881 story before he died. It was very scary. Is it true? It is 100% true. I've just said it is 100% true. But how it comes about, until I open you up, you won't get it. Thank you very much. It's very true. I say, Misa, wait there, maybe. I got 3 hours. Maybe just 10 minutes. Maybe take questions, submissions. Na maybe asemno abenewiye. Misu midachi, me dream mewiye. Yenti debra me de train questions. Finally, na ma signing off.
Adiachi.
Missy, you be a ready more. I say, baby, so. Ijonya kuponkwa walini.
Adiachio, ampa adiachio, enyina na yadasorio. Ijonya kuponkwa walini. Adiachio mama, ampa adiachio, adiachio, Zinamidia Messi, Missumidachi, Missumidachi,
Media Missumeri.
Mama Yesu Yadachi, what? Mama Yesu Yario, say baby,
Mame Mercy. This is coming from Edugrid. Papa, please, we are ready to learn more. Thank you for your readiness to learn. Mami Mercy, one mama feel, one mama diare was. I've been trying to get in touch with you. Only Mebra Collins. Nama Hesenia Muhusitie. Every effort has proved futile. I am very, very, very happy and excited. Say, Mate Onka Ene Edei. It has really relieved me of the stress and all the squams that were running through my mind. Echima Mercy, Nyami Insirao. Or say, Evan, our pastor, this is really, really important message. Thank you very much, and God bless you. And bless you so much for coming online. So I will hear from you. I am watching Mebra Collins, so Eddie Amami. Watching say, my friend, papa. Out of the busy schedule, so no. I'm finding a way to say hello so that I will catch up with him as well. As we say, this is a very important message. You haven't heard anything yet. In fact, this is just the death process. The initial process. The next phase is more intriguing. The next phase is more revealing. The next phase is very dramatic, and that is where a lot of you are going to face issues. Echi obade yadumwa ochina enyumri. Metu kwan ahomachin, but obade yadumwa enyumri. Entwase nonsomo no na mababedu. And I'm going to take time and break it down. Down. Iti nyankopon yadomo a ochina no yebehwe atofu. Now it's a little bit delicate and complicated because it's a different ball game altogether. We are the 5 elements acting against the living person. Sa elements ni nyina ewu mu, but they are fighting against you because somebody has orchestrated obia orchestrating or were invoking those elements against you because you decided to do evil to that person. And answer abia woman, you decided to do evil. Adienwa amount survivability, amount ye living being. Sa adienwa no amount to meetness as we no by your deeds, by your actions, and on your friend the law of nature. Masa, and on as a mekasa me bonitofa ebeye diabo. It's your body adma ochina mixre adieni wia. Universally obia ya boni dua unim se nipa no a enya dia mema kwan amani panaba me ho. But then I will do the recording. I will hear from him at the akwakoto yen Telegram platform so. Okay, die empty. I must die empty. I must tell the world. Let them know omonyi omokrankwa because o sevu no hu free abo a ebia obabiti humeda nchireke no watumi asesa. Okay, my brother has come about here or say heaven our home. God bless you, Pastor. Bra Collins, only my mercy, mama mate so papa. I've been damn and dead worried about both of you because I tried as much as possible say metemonka. Nyamisha say mama matemonka enyumri. Eyeme de pa say matemonka enyumri pa. Echino obade yadomo a biwie ochena disua no a ade a ye frɛ ne duabo emebi si wabusua mu da. dear a found premature death, say young queens, you say the ebeba will be. There are signs. There are signs. The jet don't come. There are signs. One say, who made a name, Yeshua DB, and the car say, Unyankupon enye bribi. I just said, what dine the Gina Eddie actually nkwa edifo. It's all these elements, out of 8, 5 and a working against Inipa, 5 and a working for Inipa. It's when they begin to work against you, there will be signs. Signs, actually say, Ebia Yariana o femuno, Eyeduabo, and I say, the forces and the elements of this world, and then the woman is acting against you. Ebanisa, universally, the mechireno is just unfortunate say, Adia mube hiano, Mua manon and Monsasiye empe echira queen. Okay, Adia mube here, they revoking any diabo, anything. Sebano elements in the working against you, obi the issue abudia, obi the eja, fire abudia, send your beya. Obi owa the car unhun ye be electrical for na eje dem bunu na siom jurbe each one of them ye charge omuma fire echi sane manua etutu nipa wasase su nyina ensikwa bibie nuwa esikwa ni nyina eye orchestrated in the subtle realm and the metaphysical realm the friend susum we see and say outside the earth peripheral and no they are orchestrated from there. Somebody can invoke issue, obitume invoke asasi, obitume invoke either. That means lighting iron and agrada will be electric post. Now you're kicking, a whole lot of things. Obitume invoke, your friend is saying, and frama against you. These elements are very powerful and very dangerous. When somebody invokes them, obia onimna kwain, or invoking them against you. Echina debia meka say me yo boni me mfa boni susu as much as possible. Even when you are doing me evil, I will pay you with good. But is your tie upon chrenyia ojewo se bibia nkoka papa enyi chirede until entesu tukoko ebi wo bi enum nenso ye jai atifita jisa o mo bitin tesukoko echirewa asemaranko. Try to be a good person. Be a nice person. It doesn't hurt to be a good person. On the day of the burial, I have prepared a mind-boggling message. Those who have been giving their lives to God after listening to me, you would just have no option than to give your life to Christ. Because this is a certainty. We will all go through the process. But how are you going to go through this process? What are the preparations you're making towards it? Enchi no obadi admwa make time for Ochina Adisiano. Remember to like and share if you haven't done so. This is coming for Inshiraba. God bless you, Papa. Bless you too. Auntie Grace said, Papa, please. My various question. Well, I think it has been an oversight. I'll go back and get it. Linda texts say, is it true that there is angel in the form of human being on earth? Ebano, the subject of angels are, let me put it there. Lynn, young fancy frigim. Okay, let me jot it down. Ebano, the subject of angels are. The book of Enoch, a lot of exposition. We also have the forgotten books of Eden, the lost books of Eden. And we have the Apocrypha. I think I've loaded all those materials on the platform. If you get to read those books, it gives you insight. And then the 6 and 7 books of Moses, that one is most of they are very powerful, and they are more or less enchantments or incantations, words put together are a costly, mass and a costly event to happen. It's all of this, before you become a servant of God, as I said, rather prepare or you're spiritually worthy to handle all these matters. The topic of angels, Mame entron to her. My register it down. We will deal with it in the course of this series, because the spirit of death, there is an angel that is responsible for that. And when you see all these messengers of death no nyina no omo nyina angels, okay? And in this world, yes, we have human angels. The Bible has clarified that. Eti edruwa mechere echere. 10 minutes na me de man. I think say asampa ho 3 minutes. Enti say obi wo asembi sebia. As I wrap up with tonight's message, obi to me edia ba se me hu ntem enya. No, let me go and pick various question. I think say, what do you do when you see dead people in your dreams? Seeing dead people in your dreams is bad news. It means that they are earthbound. Whatever reason that they are earthbound, I think the family members can explain to us, because most often than not, they don't go through the process of ending the death process. If you want to end the death process, you know how to end it. It doesn't end the day the person died. It ends with finally disposing of the body, cremation or burial. If you bury, it will take 60 years. 60 years or more, depending on the climatic condition of the country. And sana body now you fully decompose into earth again. It means that much time, the departed, the so-called, in quote, departed soul has not departed all around. And that is why the executives, we're going to meet and make a very important decision. A very important decision. Whether to bury or to cremate. And if we're going to cremate, how are we prepared to respond to family members who have so many issues? And that can only be resolved when I open up. Sanya mani nyina ibetumi adi atum dia. Aje se mebie moni akyerɛkyerɛ moni ekoso. Ansana meni umienu yetumi adi atum ne ayenie ebema ye ho atoyen. But concerning seeing the dead in your dreams, medebeshe oboade yadma ochina, because enkomo kakra ewo ho. I just cannot give the direction. Trust, I need to explain few things. I'm a teacher, so it's important for me to explain few things. This is coming from Emmy. Who is this Emmy? Or say, please tell us what we will need for that direction so we get prepared. Thanks. The Nameka say, Otsena, we know you should start making arrangement. Mame kunedu se wo wa me ma baako. Afi Janet abna keko. Me ma onsadie na mebeka ho asem no so baako. Ye friend no tender stone. Tender stone. When you say agrada no idwa edibu bi ba edi ekuma bi eba. Wa wonim ade adekodi American ho asem no. Okay, let me see if I can quickly show it to you. Let me see if I can quickly show it to you. Beba, let me see. I think I still got the image.
Adiachi. Mesi obi arelimo na se baby so. Ifenya kuponkwa walini.
Adiachi, ampa adiachi, enyina na yadasorio. Ifenya kuponkwa walini. Adiachi, mama, ampa adiachi, adiachi, Zinamidia Messi, Missumidachi, Missumidachi,
Media Missumeri.
Mama Yesu Yadachi, what? Mama Yesu Yario, say baby,
Missumeri.
Mama Yesu Yadachi, what? Mama Yesu Yario,
Missumeri.
Ampa diachi, enyina na diachi ye. na se bewie pa de mama Nyankopon ko adenim ampa de atio yenyina na de achi ye se bewie mama Nyankopon ko adenim dadi unkwa na wuni mudia medeme wo hye wo so mabra bonyina wo nsem mikwa nyina nso wo nsem dadi unkwa na wuni mudia medeme wo hye wo so aye mabra bonyina wo nsem mikwa nyina nso wo nsem se bewie pade wanani mo se bewie aradi unkwa na wuni Inti debia masemuni anapebia midumi ebisu mewi yo oa bisu mama Yesu yedachi wati Yesu yewi yo
media bisu mewi
obia sora na pahima wakrasa opaba ye obesa bedrufi asemi Nyankopon ko adenim Obia sora na pahima hima makrase okwaba abesa bedufi asemi Nyankopon ko anenim eti Peter kan sembi sister Peter kan sembi wanchen kwa na yenko dadi wanchen kwa na yenko unawo wodan kwa sem sebewie so dadi ukwa ne woni Gifty a bessie missenio, I baby missenio, some way, wine anymore, wine in him, Mamma Yankupon, wine him. And see Debia, Massemuni, and a baby, Misso, Sumeri. Mamma, yes, to your Dutch, what Christiania body your hair. Ye, Jacka, you, O Christiania body, Mama Jadia, Waywati, a Sudachi, Suawi, you are. O Christiania, Utmiaka, hey, Ampa, Dakaye, Mama, eh, da don't go, you know, now. And the Jimasiha, Yensu Yadachi, Yensu Yavi, you are. Missimi was in Bisabi. They was in Bisabi, what they be said for you now, baby said for you now. Because I go to Brasso, I send me to Brasso, Mekaya, Naya Missouri, Mekaya, Naya Missouri. MPB Mammy, yeah, Echo to do where ye and I see, baby sass, and be say, baby sass, and be say. Empi baako na okasanti ekasanti wanti asie masem bisenyi na nyina masem bisenyi na se mami na wudawe yo why na betu waso otina why na brio why na nimo si why na nimo wati woni ma peja wonsa wati ye ne kasanti wanti asie empi baako peja ni so amba peja ni sa aso why na ni bewie Why any besitina? I said, when if I be any muda, young Kupon, Onokwan, any mudia, Becaya whom I yen summon, Becaya whom I yen yamia, Becaya whom I yen summon, Onokwan, any mudia, bra, Becaya whom what it, eh, my yesum Yankupon, Mamma, my yesum and Yankupon, Onokwan, any mudia. A baby, me saying, wine anymore, wine any wamba. Yeah, me free me more frasipa.
All right. Tender stone, a B N E. Just look on your screen. This is a tender stone. It comes in different shapes, different colors, and so I need you to look at it carefully. A very, 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 very important. Say, utie me, we nipa dasani. Now ye pathway bar. Tender stone no mesra say obemo modinya. Na wenya both the male and the female. It comes in different shapes. Some of them are big, some of them are small. Now, in this picture, there is nowhere between a differentiating. But modern say, oko market albenybi. O say, and now try say, obe odabi. Minim opa samopa wohu mopa monfre evangelist Samuel Nyako ene Sofo Yaro, okay. Omonko kaswa mo face wo so na omompe tender stones nubi. All right. Sisi ade medie no kwasem ni ebreni adagie eni me ho. Anase wo busuani bi a wabagana wo de ompe tender stone ni bi so ho na omfanye den emmane ho. Eno ne ade a you going to require, because when the 5 elements no a yedi ni pedua no, when they are invoked against you, adia ubihia eka the other your friend is saying your for no ho eye tender stone ne ye eater no eno must say ni nyina come into play. Earth ebeba, fire ebeba, tender stone beba. Na afe machiremo how you can revoke. You don't need, and says I will call your friend is saying Bosomko Insioko Adekodia Yedibo. You don't need to go there. You don't need to see any pastor. Sit in the comfort of your home. But direction now, just do it. It will break one time. The fuasi say Ninasia Tatai Wahuno Aka 7 days. Yamedu testing ba messengers of death nina abba. People are sensing death around him. Don't worry. You have nothing to worry about. Odia Shase say, oh, she tender stones, no male and female nature queen. All right. Nefato on chain. And yet they are okay. Who is this Emmy? I don't know the real ID. But was sending me, okay, Mamini Ewo, Amazon. Ebi wo ho Mamini free Telegram na. Memfa odi ebia send me wo Telegram. Memfa enonso enka ho emamuna muhu ni yi. Thunderstone. Okay. Let's. Oh, okay. Emily. Oh, okay. Minuaba Emily. Rade Ankra. Yasemu. Sister Mpacho Empumu Chisenyo. Afina wama mehu ID no. I mostly see that ID and I am not able to. Okay, Mami enlarge image. Send beya ibehu ni. Okay. I quote too much. Just a minute, please. Okay, enko krasa. On your screen, and the thunderstone one will say, okay, now I will differentiate it for you. Dear a year dark no unisano ni ye tuntum ewumuno a yebema. Okay. Well, we say I thought there be a pictures, you don't as no be in the TV color makes ne ade engine and make say. You should tell nipa na auto no say ope bema bema no na yede edani duabono obani de mechire de yede later. Sa wohwe image ya e was skin so say on your left hand no ba ko eda mfimfin sa aye ne wo ti say gray bi minim uTV ne so sene kala ne beko no but mo amutie no radio so ne de agise munya kasafoni no enu mu na beboa why Facebook no ni ma pathway to having church, YouTube a pathway to having international church obenya message tuntum no bema ena ne aye no ti se green no oba oba no ni so oba no ni sa ohwe we a ohwe de media to see a ase ba ku wiewia ye tuntum kakra ena ba ku nsu wiewia eye ase grey bi sa no What the desk screen used to say and when it baako ye tuntum sin baako. Okay. Echi tuntum pa no eye bema. Ena the ayet ne ho te se ne jeje no a eye eno so ye oba. Echi now I think you can differentiate between the two. Me hu say Amazon ubetumi or Debbie and enye Amazon. Yes, Amazon ubetumi order. Echi eye very very important say if ye piano obenya sade bi wom ne me kire no say unkodi bonipo e maye modua kai se wo faase bi ebetumi akwa akofu obi kunu amaya bonidua onana bi betumi akowiade amaya bonidua. And in fact obia oye obusuani betumi akwa akofa duabo abefi ho duabo nso eba na wana ne no a ebe kamu nyina one by one especially say ye ema busua no a eti mesrɛ mo enidiem eniado sɛ momfa asemi asempa na pay attention to obade yadmo a ɔkyena adesua no sɛ ne ɛbɛyɛ a mo nyinaa mo betumi asua anya nimdeɛ no na aboa ama abrabo mu obi ensisi mu eti we ne ade a mompɛ akyira kwan. All right, titiri mu amwa ma ne magana fo ne de ochina no pe ya ubetumi akwabonten na osi they can also order from ETSY also na ETS1 eye esi anase itse EDS1 no Priscilla again Prissy. Yes, it's been a while, Pastor. My question is, how do you sense if the dead comes to visit the place it used to live? Would they visit in the form of animals or what? No. I'm going to reserve this question for tomorrow. I will open my conversation tomorrow with this question. Mame Priscilla, Mame Nuchi question now because adisiano ekwechiri papa mensusu se ebechesa. Eti Mame Nuchi question it down. The visitation of the dead, there are many ways you can use to tell or indicate. You need to be very sensitive, but then there are few tricks made to me achiremo na aboa ama yadisua na wi pay. Thank you, Papa. This is from Linda, and God bless you. Bless you too. Upon one PM said, God bless you very much for this revelation, Papa. Amen, and bless you too. And then Vera says, thank you, Papa, for answering my question. Yes, Obade Yadunwa, people appearing in your dreams, dead people appearing in your dreams, they are earthbound souls. In fact, those souls that are earthbound, your directions are ye betumi aye. See the American directions are ye betumi aye. Yeah. When next somebody dies around the neighborhood or the community, nipani free no. Na astra tunnel no ibia. Because of those directions, no eboa emasa so na wabe edban no tumi free muko. Eventually. Okay. Sa direction nso ewo. But like I said, I know the directions when you're spiritually strong and unimo left and right and same be to me at all. It's no the metre all right, but I will leave it for those omujidi say omonyini wo for the sake of asofo ni binomo a omowo ni party omonasia omuhu ni omonye no metre se ne be ya oye sofo a onso ubetumi achire womano na waji omafri ohaw ne amanim enti senenso efama me Linda texting says, what about the dead person if the dead person is cremated after 1 month? Does it mean they are still bound on edge? The attorney said after 1 month, let us say first 13 days period no etwam. 1 month, after 1 month, if it is cremated, it will not be earth-bound. Should I say you are still within the 40-day period? 1 month, no, 30 days. Counting from the day a nipa no day iwuye. All right? It, from the day a nipa no iwuye, medically, declare ni death no, na elements ni sa siye free ni muno. That day no and now sa siye accounting. In the case of Vivian, on the 15th of July, end of free. It is our 15th, no, day 1, day 2, 16th. It's in the 13th day, no, ECOCGHAC 28. Okay, it's 28, once we get rid of the body, it's done. It, so after 1 month, if you cremate the body, it will not be earth-bound. It will definitely have no option than to use the 40th day, 24-hour ultimatum, now or the free assassin so echo. Edu Nana says, why did you not include blood in the element for the formation of the body? Blood is not an element. Okay? Take note. The fundamental elements and yankopon di ye if we are seeing blood and count. All right? The formulation of blood, if you ask a biologist or a dietitian, they will tell you how blood is formed in your body. All right? It's, Mr. A different subject. Blood is not part of the element. Edu Nana, ena ebusa sa question. So that is for your information, Edu Nana. Blood is not an element, all right? Okay. So Vera Mankwa says, Sister, thank you for reminding Papa for my question. Mame Pepe Toban says, Papa, please advise me what to tell my family head who is waiting for me and my siblings to come home to celebrate my mom's 1 year celebration. You don't need to take any advice. Just tell him you won't come because there's no point. After this addition, just tell him you are not coming. And you're the it is so much to be in celebrity. Don't go anywhere. Don't buy tickets. Don't do anything. Don't waste money on unnecessary things. If you have that kind of money, what they bring it to me? Why, Mr. 1 year celebration is not biblical and it is absolute nonsense. If you know the realities of the subtle realm. Mame Priest say, it's been a while, Pastor. My question is, how do you sense? Okay, I think I've answered that question. Kwesi Tebi says, God bless you, Papa. Afraid mebre na yebe. Oh, any other question? Fabre me ewo WhatsApp line so. Be see the next episode. May you questions nano answer na matwaso. Sabre die me de adusenum nyina eba na wiye. Die me de twa to ni. Death does not happen in a day. Just as birth does not happen in a day. Before somebody is born in a day, it's a process. Before somebody is declared dead, physically and metaphysically, it's a process. They don't happen in 1 day. It is as I say so, and who say every year. It is not like that. And Nona Mashasie Abemu said the process of death begins with the messengers of death. And it ends with cremation of the body. Mame Presa says, and please, when someone is about to die, does nature give a sign like a strong storm with tenders? There are events like that. But some kind of events, are mostly around premature death. And as our science neighbor, it's your body yaduma ochina addition ebebua amawate ehono ase. Thank you. So wrapping up, death does not happen in a day, just as birth does not happen in a day. This is episode 1 of the death series, and it has to do with the process of death, or the death process, the stages of death each and every one must go through. Remember, when the angels or messengers of death visit you 1 week before your declaration of death, there are signs. Those signs point you to a point na so bi wani no hu a na o papa a wo ye no wasase so doso a we betumi age we free o monsem ama watumi atena sei adi enchene kakra mesere onyankopon sei enwumre yi huhumu nsem a nanka esuma ama bibibi so edi asase e kire wo no omo a na chi ase ne yi hantan to baabi ne yi dwesem eto baabi. We are all here. We don't know everything. If you think you know everything about this world, you are joking. Me, I keep learning, I keep discovering, I keep seeing, and I keep having visions and revelation of things. Ebano habaya, I didn't know them. A gradual process. Don't try to be a hero. You don't know it all. Misua die oso yire hu ne sua die minimu no sua free me ho die wonso nim no mesua afri ho so okoche se opani bi e kasa anonim difu bi anonyansani bi e kasa wo platform bi so ana baabi na obetimi asua bibi afri mu a men kasa medie enye sofo Bernard na e kan mintie daabi men kasa nimdie ye fafri no emia bebre. Only be careful where you get your knowledge from, because enkofu bi Satan endim enkofu bi wa prepare enkofu bi ogidie no mukura no enye obade e wogidie but ensem ya making obekone say yesu nsuma asemunti no omunsunim. The source of your information is also crucial. The direction nipa ne de bema no, if the source is not from God, you are in for hell. So in as much as you are acquiring knowledge, you must be mindful and careful where you gather the knowledge from, especially when it comes to directions. Radinti na nimchire yinyina onom no nka ye ho ebra yere tied to our chambers yi oma ne humobro ne Bible no nye kese wo yeso na afutusem ne kokobonsem abani ne anibia be yinyina no yentumi fananti obra kwanchi mu woni doba Yeshua di munti adidi fo nyina enye meso amen pa
Adiachi Mesi oke arelimo na se bebiso Ifenya kuponkwa walini
Adiachi yo ampa adiachi yo enyina na yadasorio ifenya kuponkwa walini Adiachi yo mama ampa adiachi yo adiachi yo Zinamidi ya mesi Misumidachi, yeah, Misumidachi.
Media Missumeri.
Mama Yesu Yadachi, what? Mama
Abusia, Mantimi Nkebiwa, me Mama Shalom. Good night and have a sound sleep. Bye for now.
Mama Yesu Yadachi, what? Mama Yesu Yadachi.
Missumeri.
Ampa diachi, enyina na diachi. Na se baby padie mama nyanku ponko adenim ampa diacho yenyina na diachi ye se baby mama nyanku ponko adenim dadi unko na wonimu dia medeme wo hye wonso mabra bonyina wo wonsem bikwani na nso wo wonsem dadi unko na wonimu dia medeme wo hye wonso aye mabra bonyina wo wonsem Because na nsu wa wonsem se bewe pade wanani mo se bewe aradi ukwana wonem nti de bia masemuni anape bia medumi ebisuesu mewe yo
Missumeri.
Mama Yesu Yadachi wati yensu yewe yo
Media Missumeri.
Obia sora na pahima wakrasa okwava ye obesa bedrufi asemi nyanku ponko anenim obia sora na pahima wakrasa okwava obesa bedrufi asemi nyanku ponko anenim eti Peter kan sendi sister Peter kan sendi One chain when I yanko, daddy, one chain when I yanko. Una dan kwasem, say baby, say baby, say baby, say baby, so daddy, one when you. If you ever see me saying you, I baby, me saying you some way, wine anymore, wine anymore. Mama yanko pon him. Inti debia masemuni, ana baby ah, me do ye, me so, Mary. Mama yesu ya dachi wati, Kristo ni abodu ya he, jaka ye yo ama, o Kristo ni abodu ye, mama jadia wati, nasu dachi suwari yo o Kristo ni a utumi ya ka he, ampa, jaka ye mama, ja donko yinom na, adaji masiha. Yensu ya dachi, yensu ya wiye yo Besimi wa simbisabi, de wa simbisabi wati, bibisati efonina, bibisati efonina. Bekasa ye kochufu braso no, asemi si chufu braso, bekaya na ye misuye, bekaya na ye misuye. MPB mami uye, ekoto dumu weye nasi, bibisa sa simbisei, bibisa sa simbisei. MP kuna okasanti, ekasanti wanti asiye, masembise nyina, masembise nyina nise. Mami ne wudaweyo, wine betu wasu, watina, wine blue, wine anymore, see wine anymore wati. Uni ma peja wonsa wati. Ye ne kasenti wanti asye MP baku pejani so amba pejani sa aso wine ni bebie wine ni besitina asemwe ni pebie ni muda yanku pongwane ni onokwa ni mudia beka ye huma yen sumuno beka ye huma ye nyamya ye beka ye huma yen sumuno onokwa ni mudia bra beka ye hu wati ye mayesu nyakubon mama mayesu nyakubon onokwa neni mudia abe bewie miseni wine ni wamba ye mi firi mi mafrasipa na medri nyankuku anchi emubire ne makuku hwiase masomo na de bisinle ochina so dekono besum nyame ana asemi wine ni mo betima sum nyame obrego ye yo dadia obrego ye yo ebia masemo nyina se obrego ye yentino dadi mami yekodro ho churo mi din so e won kwa mani mo dadi churo mi din won kwa mani mo debia masemo ni ana bebia mejumini